Chapter 2053. Qin Yun circled around the heavenly mother of imperial sound and carefully observed her. Do you want me to let you take a closer look? The imperial sound heavenly mother smiled and asked gently. No need. Qin Yun frowned, recalling his impression of the goddess of love. Heavenly mother imperial sound said, Qin Yun, I know you are very interested in heavenly mother, but there is nothing special about her. When the goddess of love was by your side for such a long time, you didn't even realize that she was the heavenly mother. Qin Yun shook his head and said, No, you are still different from humans. You have a very strong heavenly Tao power on you. In other words, your saint energy is cultivated by absorbing the energy of the heavenly way, so it's very different. Really? The heavenly mother frowned and said, Can you really tell the difference from the saint power in my body? Yes, Qin Yun said. I have fought with the heavenly law divine realm for so many years. I am very familiar with the power within your bodies. As for the goddess of love, she does not have the aura of the heavenly Tao. Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound shook her head and said, Impossible. The goddess of love must be the heavenly mother. Since she is the heavenly mother, her power must originate from the heavenly Tao. Otherwise, she wouldn't have been able to hide it from me. She must have used some secret technique to conceal herself. Qin Yun said, She's my subordinate. We often fight and train together. I understand her divine power aura very well. Then there is only one possibility. Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound looked at Qin Yun and said, You should have also thought of it. Qin Yun nodded and said, The love goddess is an avatar of Heavenly Mother. This avatar grew up in the divine wilderness, so there are no flaws. After all, you are the enemy of the heavenly Tao. If the heavenly law divine realm wants to deal with you, they will definitely do anything. The heavenly mother sighed. Qin Yun suddenly laughed. Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound. Then are you sent by the heavenly law divine realm to deal with me? Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound chuckled. Natural law divine realm can't be that stupid. They won't use the same method to deal with you. As for you, you won't fall for the same trick twice. You are so passionate that I can't help but be suspicious. Qin Yun faintly smiled and said, I am not deluding myself, but you are indeed seducing me. Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound suddenly smiled very charmingly. Then she extended her hand, wanting to touch Qin Yun's face, but her wrist was grabbed by Qin Yun. So stingy. Can I touch your face? The Heavenly Sound matriarch snorted bitterly. Our cooperation is based on a soul contract. Qin Yun said, You are Heavenly Mother. Perhaps you have a way to restrain the soul contract? So, I have to let you off a little. I'm not on guard against you, but you are on guard against me. Qin Yun, your actions will make me very sad. Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound said, If I'm cheated by you, I'll be the one feeling sad. Qin Yun said with smile, If you want to blame someone, blame yourself for being too enthusiastic. You are a grand heavenly mother, yet you act so casually in front of me, so I am very vigilant. The heavenly mother flirted with her hair, and the smile on her face carried a hint of charm. Palace King, you really want to understand the heavenly mother of our natural law divine realm, but do you know that we also want to understand you? What's there to understand about me? I have been tortured and sealed by the heavenly law divine realm. Don't you know me well enough? Qin Yun spread out his hands, finding it extremely funny. We are all very curious. How did you come to be the Palace King? Have you ever thought about this question? Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound asked. Of course I've thought about it, but it's not important to me at all, Qin Yun said with a smile. Back then, he was the king of the Nanyang Palace. He had no impression of how he got there. Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound said with a mysterious expression, Palace King, let me tell you a secret. This is the result of our heavenly law divine realm's research on you. Only a few heavenly mothers know about it. What secret? How do you know? Qin Yun also wanted to know how much the heavenly law divine realm knew about him. As long as we eat your heart, we heavenly mothers will be able to break through the sky. Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound said with a serious expression. Do you know about this yourself? What's so delicious about my heart? Qin Yin shook his head and smiled, then touched his chest. It's not this heart. Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound said, back then, when you were imprisoned and tortured, there were a few divine heavenly mothers who participated. They were all searching for your true heart. That heart is called the soul heart. It's within the soul. Soul heart, Qin Yin said with a frown. I don't even know about this thing. When I was tortured back then, no one asked me for the soul heart. Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound said, I don't know about that. In short, I heard that you have a soul heart. After eating your soul heart, I can transcend the heavenly Tao and break through the heavens. Qin Yin immediately fell into deep thought. He thought of the heavenly eye. Back then, when his consciousness entered the space inside the heavenly eye, he heard a voice saying something about going home. He even said that if he couldn't remember, he wouldn't be allowed to go home. Later on, he even obtained the heavenly eye. This matter had always puzzled him. This was something that he did not even know when he was the king of the Nanyang Palace. Now, when he combined it with what Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound had said, he suddenly felt that his life experience was very bizarre. Suddenly, he opened his eyes. His eyes turned purple-red and surged with a heavenly might filled with deterrence as he looked at Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound. When Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound saw Qin Yun's eyes, she immediately let out a terrified scream and retreated. Her delicate body trembled nonstop. What are you doing? Don't come over. Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound saw the heavenly eye and was scared out of her wits. Qin Yun used the heavenly eye to look at Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound's head. He discovered that there is a ball of faint golden light inside her head. Is that the soul heart? Qin Yun is astonished. This Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound has a soul heart. The soul heart should be located in the spiritual world of the soul. Apart from seeing the soul heart, he also discovered something very special. Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound has already retreated to the wall. Her face is filled with fear as she looked at Qin Yun. She did not dare to speak again. Qin Yun put away the heavenly eye and returned to its original appearance. That is, heavenly eye? Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound took a deep breath and asked, Qin Yun said, I just saw your soul heart. In your spiritual world, it is a flower, right? Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound said in astonishment, You saw a flower? I don't know what it is, but it has existed in my spiritual world for many years. Qin Yun believes that his soul heart has not been cultivated yet. In his spiritual world, there is only Ling Yuner, but Ling Yuner is only a Tao spirit. How can the heavenly eye be with you? You are the enemy of the heavenly Tao. Before the heavenly Tao underwent nirvana, it actually gave you its most precious heavenly eye. Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound's face is filled with disbelief. I used the heavenly eye and saw a very strange situation on your body. Qin Yun also doesn't know how he obtained the heavenly eye, so he did not answer. Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound hastily asked, What strange situation is on my body? You have 2 sun seed energy in your body. In other words, before you absorb the sun seed's energy, your body already had the sun seed's power. Qin Yun said, This is what's going on. Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound is also very astonished. She immediately sensed the energy in her body, but she can't sense anything. I suspect that all of you heavenly mothers were born from the sun seed. Qin Yun said, The sun seed energy in your body is aging and drying up. If you don't get replenished, you will die. Therefore, by absorbing new sun seed energy, you can be reborn. In other words, the sun seed energy is your lifespan. Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound is startled. She paced back and forth a few steps and said, If that's the case, then what's the deal with giving birth? You can't be considered real living beings, so you can't give birth. Your body is only formed from the sun seed energy and then controlled by your soul. Qin Yun said indifferently, To be precise, you are just very high-level puppets. Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound is dumbstruck. She is so shocked that she gasped for breath. Then what's going on when a Heavenly Mother gave birth to a child? Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound now has a better understanding of herself, but she can't accept this kind of thing. This is something they never knew before. That Heavenly Mother should have cultivated her true body. Qin Yun said, whether it is your Heavenly Mother, Heavenly Man, or Heavenly Armor Guard, they are all puppet bodies condensed from the power of the Heavenly Tao. You are not real life. Puppets with flesh and blood could be created, but it was impossible for them to reproduce like real life. The Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound understood puppets very well, because they often used them. The high and mighty Heavenly Mothers in the Heavenly Law Divine realm were actually just puppets of the Heavenly Tao. The Heavenly Tao had already undergone nirvana and no longer provided them with energy, so they began to age. The goddess of love should know this. Furthermore, she has extremely high authority, which is why she used the altar to collect the power of sacrifice to cultivate her own stronger true body. Qin Yun said, this discovery was very important to him, because it allowed him to have a deeper understanding of the Heavenly Law Divine realm. The Heavenly Mother of the Heavenly Law Divine realm was very powerful. Now that he knew that these Heavenly Mothers were all puppets, he could find their weaknesses. Impossible, impossible. We are so powerful. How could we be puppets? The Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound could not accept this. If I were the heavens, then the clay figurines I made out of mud would definitely be very powerful. Qin Yun said with a smile, you guys are similar to this kind of existence. Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound bit her lips and said, Palace King, then what's with me having my own soul? I still have a soul heart. That's what you said. Your bodies are puppet bodies, but your souls are also bestowed by the Heavenly Tao. Maybe you are the seed of a strand of the Heavenly Tao's soul. Qin Yun chuckled. It seems that you are also the embodiment of the Heavenly Tao. Chapter 2054. The Heavenly Mother of Imperial Sound sat on the ground. She had lived for so many years, and in the saint-level space, she could be said to have a high status and authority. She was second only to one and above tens of thousands. However, she was only a puppet. Although she was temporarily not being controlled by anyone, she could be at the mercy of the Heavenly Tao at any time. Although I am the enemy of Heavenly Tao, I can resist Heavenly Tao, and you can't. Qin Yun said, Palace King, the Heavenly Tao is undergoing nirvana. If he is reborn, will he be able to control us again? When Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound thought of Qin Yun's heavenly eye, she knew that Qin Yun wasn't lying. She just couldn't accept it. Yes, at that time, he might let all of you go back to the furnace, and then get a new batch of Heavenly Mother Celestial beings, and set up a new order of the Heavenly Tao. Qin Yun said, therefore, the Love God must take this opportunity to cultivate a powerful true body and break away from the control of the Heavenly Tao. Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound gritted her teeth and said, I also want to cultivate a true body. Do you know what to do? You have to give up your current body. Are you willing? Asked Qin Yun. Although I have cultivated doppelgangers, those doppelgangers are not as strong as my current body. Moreover, they're all very fragile. I don't have the heart to cultivate them. The Heavenly Mother shook her head and said, it seems like the goddess of love already knew about this. That's why she cultivated the avatar of the goddess of love to be very powerful. Qin Yun said, the reason why the love goddess can cultivate avatar and is not restricted by the Heavenly Tao is very likely because she made a great contribution. She cheated me miserably, so she got this opportunity. He looked coldly at the Imperial Sound Heavenly Mother and said, don't trick me like she did. Sooner or later, I will make the goddess of love pay in blood. Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound knew how terrifying Qin Yun was. For him to obtain the precious heavenly eye, he must have grasped some formidable power. Don't worry. The Heavenly Mother calmed down. What she needed to do now was to cooperate with Qin Yun. When I'm ready, I'll take action immediately and help you get those altars. The Heavenly Mother of Imperial Sound said. If she wanted to cultivate a good body and rid herself of her puppet body, she could only seek Qin Yun's help. All right, you should have something like a heaven vein, right? Qin Yun said. The vein of the heavens is what we use to absorb the heavenly energy. Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound spread open her palm, and a dozen or so golden threads overflowed from it. She said, "This kind of thing can be cultivated again after being extracted. I'll give it to my celestials, and they'll advance by leaps and bounds." "Why doesn't that Tianhui have heavenly veins? You're quite biased." Qin Yun said with smile. "Tianhui treats me with respect, and his words are nice, but he won't amount to much." The Imperial Sound Heavenly Mother snorted. "These fellows under me are quite good at scheming and plotting against each other, but they are far from being able to fight against the holy kings under the other Heavenly Mothers. Can you give me a heaven vein?" Qin Yun looked at Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound's palm and asked, "How can one be enough for you? A guy like you needs at least 9. Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound said, then took out 9 shining golden threads and said, "Use them together with sacred veins." Qin Yun took it and stored it in the Nether Sun. Then the Nether Sun fused it with his 9 sacred veins. Even the holy kings under the Heavenly Mother have to put in great effort to obtain 1 heaven vein. Yet the Imperial Sound Heavenly Mother casually gave Qin Yun 9. If those holy kings knew about this, they would vomit blood out of jealousy. "Palace King, show me a clear path. How can I break away from the control of Heavenly Tao? I always thought that I was a child of Heavenly Tao and was favored by Heavenly Tao. I never expected that I am just a tool." Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound said, "Heavenly Tao is heartless. How can it favor you?" Qin Yun cannot help but laugh. "It can be said that one who keeps company with ink is stained black. After coming into contact with you, I also want to fight against the Heavenly Tao." Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound said, "I just gave you so many heavenly veins. You just show me a clear path. Otherwise, I will start acting like a spoiled child. Acting like a spoiled child is useless against me." Qin Yun said with smile, "But it will make you unable to bear it." Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound playfully smiled. Qin Yun said, "It's very simple. You can cultivate a body of flesh and blood, just like how you cultivate fairies. You can refine a very powerful avatar." "Can an avatar give birth to a child?" Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound asked. "Why are you so obsessed with giving birth?" Qin Yun said with smile, "It should be possible. How do I give birth?" Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound asked. "You don't know about this? How do humans give birth? How do you give birth?" Qin Yun said with smile, "Is it that simple?" Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound thought about it and said with smile, "Just find a man, right?" "Yes." Qin Yun nodded and said, "There are many men. When the time comes, you can find as many as you want, give birth to as many as you want." Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound's beautiful eyes stared straight at Qin Yun and said with smile, "When the time comes, I will borrow you to help me give birth to one. Can you?" "No." Qin Yun immediately shouted. Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound lightly groaned and said, "Miser, quickly adjust your condition and take action." Qin Yun said, "Oh, that's right. Continue to let your subordinates search for the sun seed. After they find it, inform me. I have a way to collect it." "Palace King, if my subordinates find the sun seed and you successfully collect it, how will we split it? I can't suffer a loss." Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound said, "How about this? We will split it in half. If we find 2, we will each take 1. If there is only 1, we will discuss it again." Qin Yun said, "You help me give birth to a good child. I will give you the sun seed." Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound said with smile, "No need. Just do as I said earlier." Qin Yun promptly said. He hastily sent Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound out of the heaven-leaping shuttle to prevent her from pestering him. Ling Yun said with smile, "Xiao Yun, in the eyes of those old Heavenly Mothers, you should be very delicious. You must be careful. Wretched girl, what are you thinking?" Qin Yun curled his lips and said, "Other Heavenly Mothers are not as beautiful as Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound, right? If you fall into the hands of those old salted meat, you will be finished." Ling Yun said with smile, "Don't talk nonsense." Qin Yun closed his eyes inside the heaven-leaping shuttle and sensed the fusion of 9 sacred veins and heavenly veins. What made him amazed is that after the fusion of 9 sacred veins and heavenly veins, he can absorb a very peculiar heavenly Tao power. This is the direct absorption of heavenly Tao power, not indirect absorption. For example, before, he had to absorb it from heavenly man's body or devour other things to obtain it. Direct absorption of heavenly Tao power is the purest. While he is absorbing this heavenly Tao power, the heavenly Tao divine rune suddenly reacted and began devouring this energy. Very good. The heavenly Tao divine rune finally has some reaction. Qin Yun is extremely happy in his heart. The heavenly Tao divine rune should not be complete yet. If it absorbs enough heavenly Tao power, it might be able to completely mature. The Heaven Leaping Shuttle is inside the Imperial Sound Heavenly Mother's main hall. Qin Yun is cultivating inside the shuttle when he suddenly heard Tian Hui's voice. Heavenly Mother, this is the Heaven Leaping Shuttle? You captured Qin Yun? Tian Hui said in shock. The Imperial Sound Heavenly Mother is inside the main hall. Her face is covered by golden light. Tian Hui cannot see her appearance. Indeed, Qin Yun has been captured by me. Imperial Sound Heavenly Mother coldly said. The might within her voice is even stronger than before. Tian Hui and other sacred kings have been feeling that Heavenly Mother's strength is weakening day by day. Some sacred kings even have the intention to rebel. They want to defeat Heavenly Mother and take control of the Imperial Sound Heavenly Palace. Now, Tian Hui can sense that Heavenly Mother's strength has been restored, and he is secretly alarmed in his heart. He suspects that Heavenly Mother has been hiding her strength all along, and now she is revealing her strength to deal with Qin Yun. Heavenly Mother truly wants to capture Qin Yun. However, it is the kind of capture, for example, to have children with her. What's the matter? You all did not violate the orders I gave you. Heavenly Mother said. No, we did not attack the ice race. I don't know why Heavenly Mother showed mercy to the ice race. We discovered that they have many villages. Tian Hui said, I have a request for the Divine Universe Ice Dragon. We all know the relationship between the ice race and the Divine Universe Ice Dragon. If I attack the ice race, the Divine Universe Ice Dragon will not cooperate with me. Imperial Sound Heavenly Mother said. Heavenly Mother is wise. Tian Hui said with smile. Tian Hui returned this time to obtain important news. Blue Pearl Heavenly Mother has been ambushed and suffered disastrous losses. Who ambushed Blue Pearl Heavenly Mother? Blue Pearl Palace is stronger than our Imperial Sound Heavenly Palace. Imperial Sound Heavenly Mother is somewhat shocked and asked. It was Heavenly Mother Love's subordinates. The reason is that Blue Pearl Heavenly Mother is obstructing them from finding the Sun Seed. Tian Hui said, I know. You continue searching for the Sun Seed and tell me the location of Heavenly Mother Love's subordinates. I will go take a look. Imperial Sound Heavenly Mother said. Yes. Tian Hui will take his leave. After leaving the main hall, Tian Hui looked at the Heaven Leaping Shuttle again. After Tian Hui left the Imperial Sound Heavenly Palace, Imperial Sound Heavenly Mother arrived beside the Heaven Leaping Shuttle. She knocked on the Heaven Leaping Shuttle and yelled, Palace King, what are you doing inside? I have something important to discuss with you. Qin Yun came out of the Heaven Leaping Shuttle and said, I heard everything just now. Heavenly Mother Love is the goddess of love. She is the divine Heavenly Mother. She actually personally sent people to find the Sun Seed. Imperial Sound Heavenly Mother said, her subordinates must have an altar. How exactly are those altars distributed? Qin Yun is very suspicious about this. It's controlled by the supreme group of Heavenly Mothers in the Heavenly Law Divine Realm. Heavenly Mother Love is one of them, but after she lost an altar, she can no longer control all the altars. Imperial Sound Heavenly Mother said. Her subordinates should have found the Sun Seed and are still a match for Blue Pearl. Qin Yun can already sense that the palace is moving. Imperial Sound Heavenly Mother said with smile. Blue Pearl Heavenly Mother doesn't dare to fight against Heavenly Mother Love, so she can only swallow her anger. But I'm not afraid. Love God subordinates? Qin Yun laughed coldly. It's time to greet Love God. Otherwise, she will think that I have already forgotten about those things. Chapter 2055. The Imperial Sound Heavenly Mother controlled the golden eagle to carry her huge palace in the sky. Both the palace and the giant eagle were huge, but their flying speed was not slow at all. Qinyan was also making preparations in the palace. He was mainly organizing some armor suppression sacred talisman artifacts and checking the flag array that Zi Qingsheng and company had taken out. Then he asked the little queen ant to cooperate with him and make spatial cannonballs. The Heavenly Mother of Imperial Sound took out the violet gold divine universe sword and inspected its condition. Qinyan looked at the Heavenly Mother's purple gold divine universe sword and said, "You also use such a thing as a weapon? If not," Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound said, "could it be that you look down on divine swords refined from divine universe amethyst? This kind of thing looks very awesome, but I feel that it is very ordinary." Qinyan said with a smile, "I didn't expect a Heavenly Mother like you would also use this kind of thing. The purple gold celestial universe sword is a pretty good weapon for me. At least in the Saint class space, there are very few Saint class artifacts that can compare to it." The Imperial Sound Heavenly Mother said, "The only flaw is that after the divine universe purple chi dissipates, this sword will become useless, and we will need to find a new sword." Seeking swords? I remember you have a lot of these purple gold divine cosmic swords. Qinyan said doubtfully. That was in the past. There aren't that many now. In the past, when the heavenly Tao was still around, we could easily obtain large amounts of it. But now we can't. There aren't many divine universe amethyst left in the heavenly law divine realm, so you can't abuse it. The Imperial Sound Heavenly Mother said. Qinyan held many flying sabers in his hand and asked, "How did you deal with the heavenly armor?" The Imperial Sound Heavenly Mother shook her head slowly and said, "Even we don't have any effective methods. We can only use sufficient strength to break through the heavenly armor." Enough power? How strong is it? Qinyan also wanted to take advantage of this opportunity to understand more about the heavenly armor. The heavenly armor of a saint class space is different from that of a god class space. The sacred level space's heavenly armor is much weaker, so it is difficult to resist the attack of a god level expert from the god level space. Imperial Sound Heavenly Mother said. Qinyan also understood. He said with a smile, "Then do you have that kind of strength?" If he had the purple gold heavenly armor, his defense would be even stronger. Against the purple gold heavenly armor, we can only use the sealing method. Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound said, "Don't worry about this. I will be able to help you when the time comes." Qinyan gave her some throwing knives and said, "If you meet someone wearing purple gold heavenly armor, use this. A talisman weapon to deal with the heavenly armor." Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound smiled and said, "I've long heard that you have a way to deal with the heavenly armor. I'm an enemy of the heavenly Tao after all. The heavenly armor is the strongest defense of you heavenly beings. If I don't think of a way to overcome it, how am I to fight you?" Qinyan smiled lightly. After flying for a while, the golden eagle suddenly landed on the ground. Qinyan is also prepared. When the time comes, he only needs to hide and then secretly use talisman tools to deal with those heavenly armors. Also, he had to seize the opportunity to take away the altar. The Imperial Sound Heavenly Mother changed into a set of purple gold heavenly armor and wrapped herself in a black robe. She wore a ghost mask on her face and looked quite scary, because she is wearing armor on the inside and black robe on the outside. Plus, she is very tall. She looks very robust, not like a woman's body type. Those guys are in the vicinity. I don't know if they found the sun seed or not, but they have an altar in their hands. I will do my best not to expose myself. If I offend Heavenly Mother Love, my days will be very difficult." Qinyan took out a talisman and gave it to her. He said, "Take this talisman with you. When you fight, you can release dragon power aura and make them think that you are a dragon. This is a good thing." Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound said with a smile, "You really have a lot of tricks. After their altar appears, do your best to delay them. Leave the rest to me. If you can't beat them, You better run away quickly and don't die. Qin Yun said. Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound laughed coldly. Palace King, you are looking down on me. The Heavenly Mother. Qin Yun followed behind Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound and left the palace. The golden eagle and the palace suddenly became very small, only the size of a palm. They looked like golden stone sculptures and were stored away by Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound. When they came out, they sensed the aftermath of the battle. Blue Pearl Heavenly Mother subordinates were attacked here and suffered heavy losses. It can be seen that the subordinates sent by Heavenly Mother Love are very strong. There are sun seeds in this area. Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound looked at the 3 suns in the sky and said, 9 sun seeds. 1 is in your hands. 1 is in Mother Moon. There are still 7 hidden. Qin Yun said, I originally wanted to use the sun seed in my hand to sense the existence of other sun seeds, but I didn't succeed. It doesn't matter. We have a special holy talisman that can find sun seeds. Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound took out a talisman and handed it to Qin Yun. This was refined by Heavenly Law Divine Realms inscription Saint Master. After approaching the sun seed, there will be a certain reaction. Qin Yun took the talisman and used his heavenly eye to look at it. He said in surprise, there is a special energy inside. The runes are also very strange. I paid a great price to exchange for this talisman. Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound said. It can be said that it consumed more than half of my wealth. The talisman in Qin Yun's hand did not have any reaction. It means that the sun seed is not nearby. It only reacts when it's 100 feet away from the sun seed. Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound said, I need to quickly deal with Heavenly Mother Love subordinates. I'm worried that Blue Pearl Heavenly Mother will come over. Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound followed the aura here and flew forward. Qin Yun is invisible, flying at a low altitude in the mountain forest. His speed is not very fast. Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound is indeed very strong. In order to not expose herself, she deliberately suppressed a portion of her power. However, the aura of that power is still very frightening. When Qin Yun went over, a loud sound suddenly came from the front. The entire mountain forest also began to shake. Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound made her move. A great battle that could break out at any moment. When Qin Yun went over, he was blown away by a wave of turbulent airwaves, making it difficult for him to move forward. More than half of the mountains in the mountain forest have collapsed. Trees have been uprooted by the tyrannical gale. The battle ahead is very intense. The battle is really intense. Qin Yun is also unable to distinguish Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound's aura because she is deliberately concealing it. Her aura is very chaotic, but it is good for Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound. At least she won't be recognized. After Qin Yun approached the battlefield, the talisman in his hand suddenly reacted. It is a talisman to search for the sun seed. The sun seed is indeed here. Qin Yun cannot see the center of the battle because there is a surging multicolored light energy wave. It is shrouded in thick fog. He circled around and determined that the sun seed is not on the battlefield. The altar has not come out yet. He used his heavenly eye to look, but he did not see the altar. Instead, he saw the Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound being besieged by dozens of experts. By the time he looked over, the Heavenly Mother of Imperial Sound had already killed 2 experts. This woman is indeed a bit strong. Qin Yun held the talisman and forcibly moved towards the location of the sun seed in the tyrannical gale. Ling Yuner said, Xiao Yun, why didn't the sun seed run away? Could it be that it is sleeping? Sun seed can run around, and its speed is also very fast. It can even travel deep underground. The yang seed here seemed to be fixed in place, not moving at all. I don't know. Qin Yun shook his head. Let's find the sun seed first. He used mysterious penetration divine ability and drilled into the ground. This place has been razed to the ground by the explosion of the fierce battle. The sun seed can only be deep underground. Qin Yun arrived deep underground and gradually approached the sun seed through the talisman. What made him puzzled is that the sun seed did not release that kind of scorching energy. This sun seed was very different from the one he had obtained. After a moment, he finally saw the sun seed. It is actually a fist-sized black pearl. He touched the black pearl and can feel a trace of sun seed aura. The surface of the black pearl is somewhat warm. What's going on? Ling Yuner asked. This sun seed seems to be in a cocoon state. Qin Yun said in shock. After the cocoon, will it germinate? He promptly placed the sun seed into the 9-sun divine soul. He will ask Xieqiru about the situation later. 9-sun divine maiden and Mu, you must have a good understanding of the sun seed. After Qin Yun obtained the sun seed, he immediately came to the surface. He looked at the dazzling battlefield in front of him and used his heavenly eye to look. He discovered that there are only 20 or so people attacking the Imperial Sound Heavenly Mother. Many of them have been killed. Those 20 or so people finally couldn't hold on any longer. They can only release the altar and use the altar's power to attack the Imperial Sound Heavenly Mother. Qin Yun took out the 9 Heavens Dragon Line Cannon. The spatial cannonball he refined through the Little Ant Queen has once again come in handy. This kind of spatial cannonball can cause the space to become chaotic and sever the connection between the altar and the Divine Desolate. The moment the connection is severed, the altar will temporarily lose control. At this time, as long as one has a good enough storage magic tool and formidable mental power, they could take away the altar. Qin Yun aimed the 9 Heavens Dragon Line Cannon at the altar that is releasing berserk energy and shot the spatial cannonball inside. The spatial cannonball pierced through the space and hit the altar. However, it didn't burst out a very strong energy, it only released intense spatial fluctuations. At the same time, Qin Yun used his heavenly eye to activate the light transformation sacred pupil. His body turned into a beam of light and instantly arrived beside the altar. Let's go. Qin Yun waved his hand. Nethermoon mental power as vast and mighty as the sea enveloped the altar. Then, combined with the 9-sun divine soul, the altar was sucked into the space inside the 9-sun divine soul. With the altar in hand, the pressure on the Imperial Sound Heavenly Mother greatly decreased. Who took away the altar? His Majesty the Divine King will not let you off. An old man roared. I am Qin Yun. Go back and tell the love goddess that she can forget about sitting on her divine king position. Qin Yun's voice echoed. At this time, the Imperial Sound Heavenly Mother promptly rushed towards Qin Yun and brought him far away from this place. Because the Blue Pearl Heavenly Mother and the White Wind Heavenly Mother are approaching. The Imperial Sound Heavenly Mother only knows that Qin Yun took away the altar. She doesn't know that he obtained the sun. Chapter 2056. This time, the Heavenly Sound Matriarch was opposing a powerful Heavenly Matriarch, causing the Heavenly Love Matriarch to lose an important altar. Offending the Heavenly Mother was a very dangerous thing for the Heavenly Mother. Once she was discovered, she could forget about staying in the natural law divine realm in the future. Furthermore, she had joined forces with Qin Yun, the enemy of the Heavenly Tao. At this moment, her heart was thumping wildly. She felt extremely excited, so she pulled Qin Yun and did not stop for a moment. She used her fastest speed to escape. It was because Blue Pearl Heavenly Mother and White Wind Heavenly Mother had both come. If they knew that an altar had been stolen, they would definitely chase it back because they could take credit for it. That was why the Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound was worried that they would chase after her. It's far enough, Qin Yun shouted. We have been flying for more than half a day. They won't be able to catch up. Run further away. It's better to be cautious. Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound was a little nervous at this moment. She was more or less worried that she would be exposed. Qin Yun said with a smile, Don't worry. When you were fighting, you didn't expose your aura. I can sense it. That's hard to say. After all, 2 Heavenly Mothers are here. Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound said. They might be able to see something. I have to be cautious in the future. I got a sun seed. Qin Yun said. Is there really a yang seed in that place? When the Heavenly Mother of Imperial Sound learned of this, she suddenly sped up. Qin Yun obtained a sun seed and an altar, It is enough for the two heavenly mothers to join hands and risk their lives. Don't worry, when I find another sun seed, I will give you one, Qin Yun said with a smile. I'll leave it with you for now. I don't need it yet. Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound said, this kind of thing can't let me give birth, but it can let me prolong my life. She knew very well that without Qin Yun's help, it would be difficult for her to absorb the energy within the Yang seed. The Imperial Sound Heavenly Mother flew continuously for 3 days. Moreover, she went around and around, completely leaving that battlefield. At this moment, she did not know where she was, but this allowed her to release the golden eagle and the palace without any worries. I want to rest, Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound said. I will contact my subordinates. I will continue to instruct them to search for the sun seed. Qin Yun said, previously, when Tianhui saw my heaven-leaping shuttle here, would he spread the news? Don't worry, he won't say anything. Tianhui's mouth is very tight. Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound said, do you want to stay here? No, I have other matters to attend to. Qin Yun took out the heaven-leaping shuttle and said, we will contact each other again. Qin Yun had the soul-chasing talisman of the Imperial Sound Heavenly Mother. He could find her when needed. He had just obtained another altar, so the other Heavenly Mothers would definitely be on guard. It wouldn't be easy to snatch another altar from a Heavenly Mother. Only if his strength was stronger could he do it. Qin Yun and the Heavenly Mother parted ways and flew towards the Ice Royal race. The heaven-leaping shuttle flew for an entire night. At daybreak, Qin Yun sensed something odd. He looked up at the 3 suns in the sky. The 3 suns were still the same, but Qin Yun felt that one of the suns was releasing a stronger light. Could it be an illusion? According to my many years of research on the sun, my perception of sunlight is very accurate. It shouldn't be an illusion. Qin Yun frowned as he looked at the 3 suns. It would take a few days for the sky-leaping shuttle to reach the Ice Royal tribe. Qin Yun deliberately slowed down to let the heaven-leaping shuttle fly a bit slower so that he could feel the sunlight. At noon, when the sunlight shone on his body, he indeed felt that one of the suns was a bit stronger. This is something that has never happened before. Even though it is only a bit stronger, I can feel it. Qin Yun shook his head and muttered, whatever, I will cultivate first. The battle between the Imperial Sound Heavenly Mother and Love God subordinates is very intense. Their power is very formidable. This made Qin Yun realize that Love God subordinates are very strong. If he wants to deal with Love God, he must have sufficient strength. Furthermore, there are several altars waiting for him to collect. To me, the sun seed is the core of the sun creation. Qin Yun looked at the black pearl in his hand. This sun seed is completely different from the one he obtained from the 6 cities. As for how to use it, he can only wait until he meets Xie Karu. He wants to create a primal divine sun. This process is very difficult. Once it is successfully created, he will obtain extremely formidable power. The heaven-leaping shuttle flew for 3 days. After daybreak, Qin Yun sensed the first ray of sunlight shining down and said with a frown, the sunlight of one of the suns has increased again. These past few days, the sun's radiance has been increasing bit by bit. Ling Yuner said, Xiao Yun, could it be that a sun is about to fall? It seems so. Qin Yun's expression is grave. Once this sun falls, it will affect Immortal Desolate and Sacred Desolate. The doomsday of Immortal Desolate and Sacred Desolate is coming. Before the sun falls, it will gradually approach the earth and finally fiercely smash down. It is precisely because the sun is gradually approaching the earth that the sunlight will become more intense. Because the Sun-Holy Land has a very strange ice-cold power, causing the entire Holy Land to feel very cold. Otherwise, Qin Yun would have been able to accurately determine the approximate time based on the temperature of the sunlight. Immortal Desolate and Sacred Desolate are about to be finished. Ling Yuner lightly sighed. I wonder when they will be reborn. Before Sacred Desolate is destroyed, I must go to Divine Desolate. Qin Yun slightly clenched his fists and said earnestly, I must quickly break through my cultivation. Qin Yun is in the main control room of the heaven-leaping shuttle, cultivating through the nine-dragon heavenly origin formation and cultivating together with Zi Qingxing and others. At this time, he suddenly sensed a talisman flickering in his storage space. It is the space god contacting him. He and the space god both have a talisman. It is connected through the sun. Qin Yun took the talisman and arrived outside the heaven-leaping shuttle to receive the sunlight. Brother, where are you? Immortal Desolate and Sacred Desolate are about to be destroyed. The space god's voice transmitted into Qin Yun's mind from the talisman. It is filled with a trace of anxiousness. I am at Sacred Desolate's Sun Holy Land. Qin Yun said, I can also see the situation of that sun. I really didn't expect it to be faster than I expected. Yes. Before that, try your best to come to Divine Desolate. Otherwise, you can only wander around in the outer heaven domain. The space god said, I will do it as soon as possible. Just as Qin Yun finished speaking, the talisman ignited with flames. This kind of talisman can only be used a few times, mainly because the materials Qin Yun used to refine are not good enough. Through the space god's message, he is certain that a sun is about to fall and destroy Immortal Desolate and Sacred Desolate. Immortal Desolate and Sacred Desolate's creatures should be preparing to escape, right? Ling Yun sighed and said, leaving the Great Desolate is truly unbearable. Everyone is already prepared. Qin Yun said, there is no other way. This is not the first time 9 suns are going to destroy the world. The heaven-leaping shuttle flew for a few days and finally arrived outside the Ice King tribe. The Ice King tribe was originally protected by a divine space ice dragon barrier, but now that barrier is no longer there. After Qin Yun arrived, he shouted a few times. Not long after, the Ice Race King, Elder Chun, and Captain Yu hastily flew out. They are very pleasantly surprised to see Qin Yun. Last time, Qin Yun appeared and saved their Ice King tribe. Otherwise, they would have been destroyed. Therefore, they are very respectful towards Qin Yun. Moreover, Qin Yun was once the 9-Sun Palace King. He saved their ice race in the very beginning of the era. Along the way, the Ice Race King and Elder Chun talked about many legends about the 9-Sun Palace King. Qin Yun carefully recalled that when he fought against the Heavenly Law Divine Realm, he indeed saved many people in passing. However, he doesn't remember those people were from the ice race. I'm really sorry. I can't remember your ancestors. Qin Yun smiled awkwardly and said, I saved many races and the situation at that time was very chaotic. It doesn't matter, as long as our ancestors remember you. Elder Chin said with smile, Palace King can still live until now. Truly amazing. Most of the people from that era are already dead, right? The people of the Ice King tribe all know that the era of the 9-Sun Palace King is the very first era of the 9 Desolate. And the fact that the 9-Sun Palace King is still alive is indeed amazing. Qin Yun is now being treated as a distinguished guest by the Ice Race King. I came here this time to contact the Divine Universe Ice Dragon through Elder Chun. Qin Yun said, Elder Chun said that I am a calamity star. This must be the Divine Universe Ice Dragon's idea. Yes, but I don't know how to contact the Ice Dragon. In short, every time he comes to find me, his voice would suddenly appear in my mind intermittently. Elder Chin said, Oh, that's right. Do you feel that there's a sun that is very close to the earth? Qin Yun asked. I feel it. Captain Yu replied. It makes us even warmer. It allows us to absorb even more energy. The Ice Race King said with a smile. Isn't that so? Our race has been very happy these past few days. The sun is very close to the earth. It has become very hot. It makes us very comfortable. These ice race people can absorb heat. After the sun is close to the earth will become even hotter and they will feel more comfortable. They will be able to absorb even more energy. Qin Yun carefully thought about it, then suddenly stood up and said, The Divine Universe Ice Dragon is very likely to be resurrected. Reconstruct the dragon body. Palace King, why do you say that? Elder Chin asked in amazement. The sun is very close to the earth, so the heat it releases is very strong. after colliding with the cold energy of the Sun Holy Land. That kind of energy is very beneficial for the ice dragon to absorb. It seems like the ice dragon already knew what would happen today. Qin Yun said. The Ice Race King is very happy, he said with a smile. Is this true? Will the ice dragon come back? It won't be long. I wonder if he can defeat those heavenly mothers after he comes back, Qin Yun said. Chapter 2057. After Qin Yun interacted with the Heavenly Mother, he learned that her body was a puppet body. It was very different from the body of a real living being. The Divine Universe Ice Dragon was created by the natural law Divine Realm, so it naturally had a puppet body. That was why it gave up its own body and obtained the guidance of the 9 suns. It could borrow the energy gathered by the sun when it approached the sacred wasteland to build a powerful body. In this way, the Divine Universe Ice Dragon's new dragon body was reborn through the 9 suns and 9 desolation, and it could be considered a 9 suns and 9 desolation divine beast. Back then, the reason why the Divine Universe Ice Dragon was able to hide in the sun's sacred land and escape the pursuit of the natural law Divine Realm was also because the 9 suns had secretly helped out. The reason why the Divine Universe Ice Dragon betrayed the heavenly law Divine Realm is most likely because he discovered that he is only a puppet body and could be taken back by the heavenly Tao at any time. Qin Yun said with a smile. If he were to be reborn, he would be a new self and would no longer be controlled by the heavenly Tao. The Ice Tribe King and the others were very happy. With the Divine Universe Ice Dragon around, their days would be more stable. Qin Yun recalled Shunyu Tianlong. The mysterious Xinyu Sky Dragon had once laid a dragon egg. Being able to give birth to a dragon egg meant that the Divine Universe Sky Dragon had already cultivated his own body. Qin Yun, the Ice Clan King, and the others talked about many things that happened in the 9 Suns era, which shocked them. After the sky darkened, Qin Yun entered a cave abode in a gigantic tree. The location that the Ice Royal tribe had chosen was a very good place. There was a natural formation in the ground that allowed everything to grow well. Qin Yun suspected that the divine cosmic ice dragon would be reborn in the Ice Royal clan. In the Ice Royal tribe, there was a huge pond. It was the center of the natural formation of the Earth Vein Star. If the Divine Universe Ice Dragon is reborn here, then I can find out the location of the Yang Seed through him. Qin Yun secretly looked forward to it. At night, he looked at the Mother Moon in the distance. It was still flashing, still devouring the Sun Seed. The Mother Moon was extremely mysterious. Even the natural law Divine Realm did not have much understanding of the Mother Moon. I have to become stronger as soon as possible. Otherwise, even if the Divine Cosmic Ice Dragon tells me where the Sun Seed is, I won't be strong enough to obtain it. Qin Yun released the 9 dragons' heavenly origin formation and let Zi Qingsheng and the others come out to cultivate together. While cultivating, Qin Yun used the heavenly vein he just obtained to absorb heavenly Tao power. After the heavenly energy entered his body, it would be absorbed by the mysterious heavenly Tao divine rune. The heavenly Tao divine rune had always been half dead, and it would occasionally have some reaction. And this heavenly Tao divine rune was very useful. It allowed Qin Yun to gain a deeper understanding of the heavenly Tao and create his own heavenly Tao. 10 days passed in the blink of an eye. At this time, Qin Yun was already in the Great Sage intermediate stage and had cultivated the 5th level of holy brilliance. He stood in the tree hole and looked at the 3 brilliant suns in the sky. The one in the middle had become bigger, which meant that it was very close to the sacred wasteland. If this continues, the sun will become bigger and bigger, and the immortal desolate and sacred desolate will become very hot. However, this unholy land was different. It was extremely strange. The bigger the sun, the more joyous the creatures here would be. What made Qin Yun depressed is that the sun's sacred land is getting colder and colder. This place was the complete opposite of the immortal desolate and sacred desolate. Because the immortal desolate and sacred desolate are close to the sun, it is definitely very hot. However, The ice race people here are very happy every day. They feel very comfortable. Outsiders like Qin Yun and company would not be able to withstand the bitter cold if they did not have sufficient strength. Although it is cold, Qin Yun can endure it. He had originally planned to continue cultivating, but he received news that there was a running mountain waiting for him outside. The divine inscription mountain has arrived. Qin Yun immediately flew out of the Ice King tribe and arrived outside. The divine inscription mountain previously went to find Qin Long and Great Sage Wu. Now that they are here, they must have found them. The inside of the divine inscription mountain is very lively. Qin Yun saw Great Sage Wu and Qin Long, as well as the immortal desolate Dragon Emperor and others. They came in from another passage, the Sea Passage. They encountered many powerful, strange beasts there. Fortunately, Great Sage Wu has desolate runes and is very powerful. He's also an inscription dome master, so everyone is very safe. After meeting up, Qin Yun told them about the situation here. The sacred desolate's doomsday is coming. If we don't get out in time, they can also make a decision to fly to the outer heaven domain. Great Sage Wu sighed. His Great Saint Peak has many disciples. Everyone is prepared. The sun has also dropped many resources, enough to stay in the outer heaven domain for a period of time. Immortal Desolate Dragon Emperor said, "The Sun Holy Land will not be affected. This is a place to avoid disaster." Qin Yun said. Great Sage Wu said, "Although this is my birthplace, I feel very unfamiliar with it. It is not the birthplace I am familiar with." Qin Yun said with smile, "The divine universe Ice Dragon should be reborn soon. You can meet him then. I don't know if he still remembers me." Great Sage Wu shook his head and smiled. "It has been so many years." "Oh, that's right. The Ice Race King here said that he is also very old. Maybe you know him?" Qin Yun said. "Take me to see him." Great Sage Wu said. Qin Long wanted to go with them, but he knew that the Ice Clan liked to eat food with fire, so he didn't go. He was afraid that he would be targeted. Qin Long, the fire dragon god and fire Qilin, found out about the eating habits of the ice race and felt a bit disgusted in his heart. Qin Yun brought Great Sage Wu to the Ice King tribe. As soon as he arrived, he found out that the Ice King tribe's small sacred lake is bubbling. Qin Yun is very happy because the divine universe Ice Dragon is about to be reborn. Qin Yun and Great Sage Wu immediately arrived next to the small sacred lake. Many Ice King tribe people are now gathered on the shore of the small sacred lake. It is broad daylight now. The small sacred lake is releasing a faint golden light into the sky. It can be seen from far away. Great Sage Wu arrived at the lakeside and saw the Ice Race King. He shouted in amazement, "Xiao Bing, is it you?" "Xiao Wu." The Ice Race King also cried out in alarm after seeing Great Sage Wu. The Ice Race King looks like a middle-aged man, and Great Sage looks like a handsome young man, but both of them are very old monsters. Qin Yun suspected that the Ice Race King knew Great Sage Wu, and it is indeed so. The two of them very happily hugged each other. Crash! At this time, the small sacred lake is bubbling even more. It looks like it is crazily boiling. However, the golden lake water is very ice-cold. Even Qin Yun can't stand the ice-cold lake water. He had no choice but to take out the divine universe Ice Dragon Pearl to increase his cold resistance. The Ice Dragon's rebirth is not small, especially the golden light coming out of the small sacred lake. It also has a very strong aura. Qin Yun is very worried. Sure enough, this kind of movement alarmed many heavenly beings. Many powerful heavenly beings wearing heavenly armor and heavenly armor guards surrounded the Ice King tribe. Outside the Ice King tribe, there's also a very large blue pearl. It is the Blue Pearl Heavenly Mother. Apart from this, there's also a huge white tornado. It is the White Wind Heavenly Mother. The Imperial Sound Heavenly Mother did not come. She knows I am here, so she did not come close to avoid being exposed. Qin Yun pondered in his heart. Great Sage Wu also knows about the Heavenly Mother. He is now a very strong peak heavenly saint, so he is not afraid of anything. Adding that he has Sun's Soul and Desolate Runes. Even if the Heavenly Mother appears, he would still dare to fight. "Don't worry, I can deal with those guys." Great Sage Wu looked at the densely packed heavenly beings in the sky and said in cold voice, "Xiao Wu, we will join hands. We can definitely beat them back," the Ice Race King said. "Let's go out now." "All right." Great Sage Wu nodded. Great Sage Wu and the Ice Race King went out because the Divine Universe Ice Dragon is now at the critical moment of resurrection. They cannot be disturbed. Qin Yun has already prepared the Nine-Dragon Heavenly Origin Formation. If necessary, he will release the Nine-Dragon Heavenly Origin Formation to protect the small sacred lake. The Divine Universe Ice Dragon once integrated into the entire Sun Sacred Land, so it is very clear about the matters of the Sun Sacred Land. Those Heavenly Mothers are all looking for the Sun Seed. Ever since Qin Yun obtained the Sun Seed last time, the other Sun Seeds have hidden even deeper and are very difficult to find. The Heavenly Mothers know that the Divine Universe Ice Dragon is about to resurrect, so they all rushed over. Once they capture the Divine Universe Ice Dragon, they can ask about the location of the Sun Seed. Qin Yun looked at the small sacred lake and secretly used his heavenly eye. He discovered that the small sacred lake is emitting a very strange aura. This aura is very similar to the Sun Seed. Qin Yun is alarmed. He suspects that there's a Sun Seed under the small sacred lake. He promptly took out the talisman given to him by the Imperial Sound Heavenly Mother. It is used to detect the Sun Seed. After he took out the talisman, it indeed reacted. The Divine Universe Ice Dragon's resurrection is related to the Sun Seed. This Divine Universe Ice Dragon might become even stronger. Qin Yun sighed in his heart. After Great Sage Wu and Ice Race King came out, they released their formidable aura. Those two holy kings under the old Heavenly Mother felt great pressure when facing Great Sage Wu and Ice Race King. They don't dare to directly fight. Even those Heavenly Mothers are somewhat afraid of Great Sage Wu's power. After all, Great Sage Wu has desolate runes. The movement of the small sacred lake is getting bigger and bigger. The light rays are getting more intense. The Ice Race people at the lakeside are being enveloped by the golden mist overflowing from the water. They all let out a burst of comfortable exclamation. But Qin Yun is feeling very cold. He feels like he is being frozen stiff. He has no choice but to retreat far away from the small sacred lake. This ice-cold power is too dreadful. Is it because of the Sun Seed? Qin Yun exclaimed in admiration in his heart. He is a Nine-Sun Palace King. He has seen all kinds of energy. He has seen many formidable ice-cold power, but this is the first time he has seen such dreadful ice-cold power. Just as he is retreating, the small sacred lake suddenly released a large amount of ice crystals. The ice crystals are like a fountain that shot up to the sky. Dreadful cold currents swept through all directions, giving rise to a burst of berserk blizzard. The blizzard very quickly stopped. The ice crystals that shot up to the sky fell to the ground, turning the surrounding mountain forest into a world of ice and snow. The small sacred lake is still flickering with golden light, but it is no longer boiling. A handsome young man with an imposing appearance, wearing white clothes and an ice-cold expression, slowly rose up from the small sacred lake. Chapter 2058. Palace King, you're really forgetful. We did meet a few times, but you don't remember? The Divine Universe Ice Dragon snorted. He was a little annoyed that Qin Yun had forgotten about him. Qin Yun looked outside and said with a smile, "There's your esteemed guest outside. Go entertain your guest first. We'll talk later." Although the Divine Cosmic Ice Dragon had been reborn, Qin Yun could sense that it was not very strong. It was only at the peak of the quintessential saint realm. This was because the Divine Universe Ice Dragon was considered an overlord in the Divine Wilderness. Although the Divine Cosmic Ice Dragon did not have the strength it had in the past, it was still the Divine Cosmic Ice Dragon. It immediately soared into the sky. When he flew up, his entire body overflowed with a bone-chilling power. Even Qin Yun was affected by the cold power and could not help but shiver. Heavenly Mothers from the natural law divine realm, I, the Divine Universe Ice Dragon, have long since repaid what I owed the Heavenly Tao. I have long since severed my ties with the Heavenly Tao, so The divine universe ice dragon will no longer listen to the orders of the natural law divine realm. The divine universe ice dragon's ice-cold voice was accompanied by a cold wind that enveloped the tens of thousands of people in the surroundings. That kind of bone-chilling coldness caused the group of heavenly armors to tremble uncontrollably. The divine cosmic ice dragon had already secretly displayed its strength when it had spoken just now. He was strong, but not invincible. If they really had to face the two heavenly mothers and their subordinates, the entire ice royal race would be implicated. Divine cosmic ice dragon, the Yang seed is here, and you once merged with the earth, so you definitely know where the Yang seed is. Heavenly Mother Blue Pearl's cold voice traveled over. It seemed like she was not afraid of the divine cosmic ice dragon at all. I really don't know where the Yang seed is. If you don't believe me, then there's nothing I can do. The divine universe ice dragon said, "Don't think that you can do whatever you want in the Sun's sacred land. To tell you the truth, there are demigod experts and demigod-leveling beasts here. You should save some strength to deal with them." A demigod existence. This instantly caused the tens of thousands of devas to be visibly moved, and they began to discuss in alarm. When Qin Yun entered the Sun's sacred land, he could tell that the sacred land space could withstand a half-god expert. The divine universe ice dragon's words were very clear. If they fought here until both sides were severely injured, it wouldn't do any good for them. Divine universe ice dragon. Even though you have left the natural law divine realm, our natural law divine realm does not owe you anything. In the matter of finding the sun seed, we can cooperate. White Wind, Heavenly Mother said. The present is different from the past. You have just been reborn, so you will definitely need to consolidate your foundation, and we can provide you with enough resources. Blue Pearl, Heavenly Mother said. Those Heavenly Mothers were smart enough to know that they couldn't fight the divine cosmic ice dragon head-on, so they used the method of bribing it. I really don't know where the Yang seed is. The divine cosmic ice dragon said coldly. I was reborn through the Yang seed, but after the Yang seed helped me rebirth, it burrowed into the ground, and its whereabouts are unknown. Earlier, Qin Yun used Heavenly Sound Heavenly Mother's sacred talisman to sense the sun seed under the small sacred lake. Divine Universe Ice Dragon, we'll give you 3 days to consider. We'll be back in 3 days. Heavenly Mother Blue Pearl said. They were already certain that the Divine Universe Ice Dragon knew the whereabouts of the sun seed. The two Heavenly Mothers and Heavenly Men had left. The Divine Cosmic Ice Dragon's eyes are ice-cold as it watched the Heavenly Men leave. Great Sage Wu and Ice Race King are very happy to see the Divine Cosmic Ice Dragon again. But now they are very nervous. They are on guard against the sneak attack of the Heavenly Men. Not long after, the sky became quiet. The two Heavenly Mothers have already left with their people. Great Sage Wu and Ice Race King immediately flew towards the Divine Cosmic Ice Dragon. The Divine Cosmic Ice Dragon saw them, and his expression became a lot more relaxed. He even revealed a smile and said, I didn't expect to see you again. Especially Xiao Wu, although you obtained Sacred Desolate's Desolate Rune. Your 9 souls were also taken away by the Heavenly Tao. I really didn't expect that you could still live until now. He looked at the sky and said again, in this era, the 9 Desolate Nirvana rebirth, you were all born at that time. Next, Sacred Desolate will undergo Nirvana again. Speaking of these matters, they're also very emotional. Great Sage Wu also told the Divine Cosmic Ice Dragon about his own matter. After learning that Great Sage Wu's 9 souls were reborn because of Qin Yun, the Divine Cosmic Ice Dragon is very shocked. The Divine Cosmic Ice Dragon looked at Qin Yun, who was beside the small sacred lake, and then flew over. Palace King, let's talk in private. Follow me. The Divine Cosmic Ice Dragon flew towards a tree hole on top of a giant tree. Qin Yun followed behind. Although he has some doubts in his heart, he didn't say anything. Great Sage Wu and Ice Race King are also discussing how to strengthen the tribe's barrier formation. Previously, Great Sage Wu also talked with Xiao Hua and the other inscription masters inside the Divine Rune Mountain and gained a lot. Now he invited Xiao Hua and the others to help him set up the formation. Qin Yun followed the divine cosmic ice dragon and arrived inside the tree hole. Palace King, you have 2 sun seeds, right? The divine cosmic ice dragon asked. How do you know? Qin Yun is very surprised in his heart, but his expression is calm. The sun seed told me. The divine cosmic ice dragon opened his palm, and a white ice-like round crystal appeared. Qin Yun can tell that it is a sun seed, and it is different from the 2 he obtained before. Now he finally knows that all sun seeds are different. The sun seed in front of him belongs to the divine cosmic ice dragon. So the sun seed is in your hands, Qin Yun said with a smile. The matter of the sun seed is very complicated. Although I have the help of the sun seed, I don't know how to use it. The divine cosmic ice dragon looked at the sun seed with a confused expression. Don't worry, this kind of thing naturally needs time to study, Qin Yun said. I also only came into contact with the sun seed in this life. The divine cosmic ice dragon coldly snorted. Palace King, do you really not remember me? Qin Yun frowned and thought carefully again. Then he shook his head and said, In my memory, there is no such thing as meeting the divine universe ice dragon. Back then, I was an elder. I had conversed with you on several occasions and asked about the suppression of the sky fiend demons. The divine universe ice dragon looked at Qin Yun with a look of resentment. Do you have any impression of it now? Qin Yun suddenly remembered that there was indeed an old man who talked with him about suppressing the heavenly devil demon. At that time, he promised the old man that he would help refine the divine talisman to suppress the heavenly devil demon. But he was too busy at that time, so he forgot about it. So that old man was you, divine cosmic ice dragon, Qin Yun said with a guilty expression. I'm really sorry. I was too busy at that time and forgot to help you refine the divine talisman. The divine cosmic ice dragon said, My identity at that time was special. I had no choice but to hide my identity to find you. And you are the enemy of the heavenly Tao. If you met the divine cosmic ice dragon, you would definitely be on guard. If I had helped you refine the divine talisman back then, what would have happened now? Qin Yun asked. I don't know. Because I couldn't get rid of the heavenly devil demon in the dragon pearl, I flew aimlessly in the divine wilderness and became disheartened. But I was suddenly sucked into the sun's sacred land and met an old man. That old man told me some things and told me to turn this place into an cold land. That old man also said that as long as I did as he said and succeeded, I would be able to get rid of the heavenly devil demon and transcend the heavenly Tao, no longer being controlled by the heavenly Tao. The divine cosmic ice dragon recalled the past. Its face is still filled with astonishment. An old man? Qin Yun said with a frown. The divine cosmic ice dragon nodded and said, After so many years, I still remember that old man's words very clearly. At that time, I only felt that he was very powerful. So I did as he said and started turning this place into an cold land. Now that you have broken free from the heavenly Tao's control and obtained the sun seed, he also fulfilled his promise, Qin Yun said with a smile. It can be seen that that old man is truly an expert. The divine cosmic ice dragon looked at Qin Yun and said with solemn expression, The heavenly devil demon was killed by you, and I was reborn because it is something that will forever be entangled with my soul. The conditions for my rebirth are very harsh. First, I need the heavenly devil demon to be exterminated. Then I need the sun to approach the sacred desolate, and also need the help of the sun seed. All of this happened naturally, and that old man never appeared. Everything happened naturally. Why is this happening? He looked at Qin Yun, hoping that Palace King Qin Yun would answer. Qin Yun looked at the divine cosmic ice dragon. From its ice-cold eyes, he can see deep fear. The divine cosmic ice dragon is afraid of that mysterious old man, because that mysterious old man seems to be in control of everything. This made the divine cosmic ice dragon feel that just after jumping out of the heavenly Tao, he jumped into the hands of another person who can control his fate. Qin Yun did not answer because he could not answer. It is not that he did not feel fear towards this kind of arrangement. because all of this made him feel that he and everyone else are chess pieces. Someone is playing chess step by step. The chess game looks messy and disorderly, but it is gradually forming a complete situation. I don't know. Qin was silent for a long time and then sighed. You are the palace king. With your many years of experience, you still can't see through it. The divine cosmic ice dragon's voice is slightly excited, but in fact, it is filled with fear. He has just been reborn. He does not want to be controlled by others. Because his rebirth seems to be the result of many coincidences, but after careful thought, he felt that there is a mysterious power secretly driving this kind of lucky coincidence. This kind of lucky coincidence is very natural. It made the divine cosmic ice dragon afraid. He is worried that he will be controlled by this lucky coincidence power, pushing him to do things and indirectly controlling his fate. This kind of power can control his life and death without him knowing. It is much more brilliant and terrifying than the heavenly Tao that controlled the heavenly law divine domain. Let nature take its course. Since you and I are still alive, we should muster up the courage to live and find the answer. Qin Yun faintly smiled. No matter what, you obtained the sun seed that the heavenly mother spent so much effort to find. This is a good thing. Palace King, the most important goal of those heavenly mothers in coming to the sun sacred land is not to find the sun seed. Do you know what they are looking for? The divine cosmic ice dragon let go of the fear in his heart. The current him can only live in peace and become stronger. Only then can he find the answer. Chapter 2059. The divine universe ice dragon's expression was indifferent as he slowly nodded and said, Palace King, do you know why the heavenly law divine realm is so concerned about the nine suns heavenly domain? Because the nine suns heavenly domain is different. Qin Yin said, with the nine suns heavenly domain as the center, most of the 3,000 heavenly domains only have one or two heavenly suns, at most 3 or 4. But our nine suns heavenly domain has 9. Qin Yin was very sure of this point. Back then, the nine suns royal family was so powerful that they swept through the 3,000 heavenly domains. No heavenly domain could contend against them. In the end, they could only submit to the nine suns royal family. The 3,000 heavenly domains obtained the inheritance of the nine suns royal family and gradually became stronger. After that, due to many reasons, the nine suns royal family finally disintegrated and was completely exterminated. Because of this, the nine suns heavenly domain began to fall to the ground every tens of thousands of years. The nine desolate and the nine suns experienced many nirvanas. In this way, even if the other heavenly domains could occupy the nine suns heavenly domain, they would not be able to last for more than an era. The heavenly law divine realm started eyeing the nine suns heavenly domain not after the nine suns royal family conquered the 3,000 heavenly domains, but before. The divine universe ice dragon said, this is the greatest secret of the nine suns heavenly domain. Even the heavenly mothers do not know of this. Qin Yun frowned as he pondered. A look of doubt appeared on his face. Could it be that the heavenly law divine realm has been searching for something in this sacred land for many years? According to my guess, it's pretty close. The divine universe ice dragon said. The mother moon also came because of this. The divine universe ice dragon had merged with the sun sacred land, so he understood the situation here very well. He also knew very well when the mother moon would appear. Is the heavenly law divine realm searching, or is the heavenly law searching? The doubt on Qin Yun's face suddenly disappeared, as if he had already guessed something. Originally, the heavenly law divine realm was searching, but after the heavenly law nirvana, the heavenly mother, heavenly emperor of the heavenly law divine realm wanted to take it for himself. The divine universe ice dragon saw Qin Yun's calm expression and said in surprise, Palace King, you guessed it. Qin Yun smiled indifferently. The only thing that can make the heavenly law divine realm crazy is the primal chaos, is the primal divine sun. This place contains the chaos divine sun god. Chaos Divine Yang was very mysterious. Back when Qin Yun was the Nine Yang Palace King, he only learned of it after deciphering some of the ancient divine stones that fell from the sky. After that, the natural law divine realm began to spread the news about the primal chaos divine sun, and the various heavenly realms also found out about it. Although I once fused with the sun's sacred land, I really don't know where the primal chaos divine sun is. I don't even know where the sun's seed is. Divine Universe, Ice Dragon sighed softly. He was secretly impressed that Qin Yun, the Nine Yang Hall King, knew such a secret. One had to know that he, the Divine Universe Ice Dragon, had only learned of the existence of a chaos divine sun after living in the sun's sacred ground for many epochs. The chaos divine sun existed before you came, right? Asked Qin Yun, his eyes filled with curiosity. Yes, it should have existed a long time ago. The old man who guided me to turn this place into a land of cold een. He was the one who told me a secret technique. He told me to use hundreds of thousands of years to roam around the holy land of the sun and use the entire land as the foundation of the array. He drew a simple rune and activated the primal chaos divine yang power. I only completed the Great Formation at the end of the last Great Era. Only at the start of this Great Era did the Sun Holy Land start to transform, gradually becoming a land of een and cold. When the Divine Universe Ice Dragon recalled this matter, he let out a long sigh. He had experienced hundreds of thousands of years alone to accomplish this. He was able to escape the puppet body created by the heavenly Tao and be reborn into a powerful ice dragon body. This was his reward. Qin Yun's eyes drooped slightly as he pondered over this matter. Although the Divine Universe Ice Dragon felt resentment towards Qin Yun, he carefully thought about it. Although Qin Yun did not give him the divine talisman to suppress the heavenly devil demon, the heavenly devil demon was still suppressed and killed by Qin Yun in the end. After that, he was reborn and changed his fate. From this, he thought of great sage Wu, who was born without 9 souls, being able to defy the heavens and extend his life because of Qin Yun's help. Palace King, what do you think of this? At this moment, the Divine Universe Ice Dragon revealed a bit of respect toward Qin Yun. The Divine Universe Ice Dragon knew very well how powerful the heavenly law divine realm was. And the Nine Yang Hall King had fought against the heavenly law divine realm for so many years, yet he was still able to live until now. From a certain point of view, the Nine Yang Hall King could be considered to have transcended the heavenly Tao. Otherwise, he would have been killed by the heavenly Tao long ago. Someone is creating a chaos divine sun here. Qin Yun's eyes widened as his gaze flickered. He said in a low voice, "It seems like we know very little about the world. Creating a chaos divine sun." The Divine Universe Ice Dragon's heart trembled as his eyes were filled with fear. He thought of that mysterious old man. Why did that mysterious old man ask him to set up an array here and use the power of the primal chaos divine sun to change this place into a cold place? Palace King, that primal chaos divine sun, what use does it have? The Divine Universe Ice Dragon asked in a low voice. He was worried that the primal chaos divine sun would be angered and destroy this place. It was said that the primal chaos divine sun gathered boundless energy. When a small wave erupted, it could destroy a heavenly domain with hundreds of millions of stars. It was incomparably powerful and could destroy the heavens and earth. Qin Yun shook his head and said, "I don't know much about the primal chaos divine sun. I'm just guessing that an expert used the 9 suns to create a primal chaos divine sun. The specific process is very complicated." The reason why he had such a guess was because the 9 suns were originally a very powerful formation. Is that mysterious old man creating a primal chaos divine sun here? The Divine Universe Ice Dragon said in shock. It's extremely possible that he used the 9 suns as the fire source and the 9 desolate lands as the furnace to create a primal chaos divine sun. This person is definitely an otherworldly expert that has transcended the heavenly Tao. Although Qin Yun's voice was calm, his heart was in turmoil. There was actually such an otherworldly expert in the Nine Suns' heavenly domain. Back when Qin Yun was the Nine Yang Palace King, he had begun preparing to create the primal chaos Divine Sunday. The Nine Yang Divine Spirit and the Nine Yin Divine Spirit were the key. Of course, this was his own creation method. He wasn't sure if it would succeed or not. Later on, due to various reasons, he had no choice but to stop. After that, he was hunted down and persecuted by the heavenly law divine realm. He had been captured and tortured for several lifetimes. Thinking back carefully, he realized that it was because he had begun to create the primal chaos divine sun that he had gradually embarked on a path of no return. Will the primal chaos divine sun be taken away by the heavenly law divine realm? The divine universe ice dragon asked. If that group of fellows were to obtain this kind of thing, wouldn't they become even more powerful? Qin Yun shook his head and said, the primal chaos divine sun is unfathomable. It's not that easy to obtain. This kind of thing is not that easy to control. We still don't know why the primal chaos divine sun under the sun's sacred land was born. It's best not to provoke it. The divine universe ice dragon took out its sun's seed and sighed. What use does the sun's seed have? I only heard that this is the initial state of the heavenly sun. Is it related to the primal chaos divine sun? Qin Yun looked at the divine universe ice dragon sun seed and also took out a black bead. There are many initial states of the heavenly sun. The sun's seed is the initial state of the heavenly sun, and it can grow into a powerful heavenly sun. If it's the divine universe metal stone, then it will be very difficult for the heavenly sun to become stronger. The black bead in Qin Yun's hand was also a sun seed. Then is our 9 suns born from the divine universe metal stone or the sun seed? The divine universe ice dragon asked curiously. I'm not sure. In short, our 9 suns have already grown to an extremely terrifying level. Although the 9 suns have fallen many times, every time they are reborn, they will become even stronger. Qin Yun shook his head. The divine universe ice dragon shook its head and said, everything in this world is truly endless and mysterious. Even though I was once a powerful divine universe ice dragon, I know nothing about this world. In front of the 9 suns, we are as insignificant as dust, let alone in front of the heavenly Tao. Qin Yun put away the sun seed and said, I suspect that the sun seed entering the sacred land is most likely attracted by the primal chaos divine Sunday 9 sun seeds. Maybe one of them will enter the primal chaos divine sun. Why does the primal chaos divine sun need the sun seed? The divine universe ice dragon asked in alarm. Borrowing the seed to give birth. Qin Yun said with smile, the primal chaos divine sun might give birth to a small primal chaos divine sun. When Qin Yun was still the 9 sun palace king, he planned to help the mother moon become the primal chaos divine moon. But now, he feels that the mother moon already knows how to become the primal chaos divine moon. The mother moon fusing with the sun seed is most likely evolving. The 9 suns are also cultivating, they're not dead things. Qin Yun said, divine universe ice dragon, for you to be able to touch upon this kind of matter, it can be considered your opportunity. It can help you cultivate your mental state. The divine universe ice dragon put away the sun seed and said, Palace King, I want to ask you something. You must answer me truthfully. Please speak. Qin Yun nodded. Why did you only stay in the divine desolate and not go to the mysterious 9th desolate? The 9th desolate is called the ancient desolate, and some people say it is called the heaven desolate. If you had stayed in the 9th desolate back then, you might not have died. The divine universe ice dragon said. Qin Yun's expression darkened slightly. He had always been unwilling to think about this matter, and he had never mentioned it to anyone else. Back then, Siekaru had also asked him about this matter. In the end, he could not resist Siekaru's repeated questioning and told her. Seeing that Qin Yun is silent and his expression is slightly cold, the Divine Universe Ice Dragon hurriedly said, "This is just my doubt. I just feel that someone like you should be in the ninth desolate. Because I came from the ninth desolate." Qin Yun said, "Heavenly Law Divine Realm and Heaven Creation Divine Palace both have their headquarters in the ninth desolate, and I was once a member of the Heaven Creation Divine Palace. The reason why I hid in the Divine Desolate was because I wanted to do what I wanted to do in peace." "Is that really it?" the Divine Universe Ice Dragon asked. "As far as I know, the ninth desolate is not like this. The Heaven Creation Divine Palace also moved to the Divine Desolate later on." "Is that so? The Heaven Creation Divine Palace went to the Divine Desolate? I don't know about that," Qin Yun said perfunctorily. "What exactly happened in the ninth desolate?" The Divine Universe Ice Dragon said, "Even the Heavenly Law Divine Realm can't stay in that place." Chapter 2060. The Big Brother Sky Dragon that the Divine Universe Ice Dragon was referring to was naturally the Divine Universe Sky Dragon. There were many Divine Universe dragons, and they all had different levels of strength. There weren't many God Yulong that could survive until now. Qin Yun was not surprised that Xinyu Tianlong had gone to the Ancient Desolate. Qin Yun's expression gradually turned cold as he said, "Something very complicated has happened in the Ancient Desolate. Even I don't want to go there anymore. Even if I had the strength of a palace king, I still wouldn't want to go there." He looked at the Divine Universe Ice Dragon and said seriously, "The Divine Universe Sky Dragon's warning to you was correct." Stunned, the Divine Universe Ice Dragon clenched his fists and gritted his teeth. "Big Brother Sky Dragon saved me once. Although his voice was calm when he sent me a message back then, I could hear the despair in his voice. Big Brother Sky Dragon is so powerful, but he is in such despair." The Divine Universe Ice Dragon respected this big brother very much. After all, this big brother had saved him before, and he was also very powerful. Qin Yun patted the Divine Universe Ice Dragon's shoulder and said, "Don't think too much. Just work hard to become stronger. Go to the Divine Wilderness first. You have the Yang Seed, so you will definitely be as strong as your big brother." "I want to save him," the Divine Universe Ice Dragon said resolutely. "If he dies, then I want to avenge him. Although I, the Divine Universe Ice Dragon, was born from the dragon transformation pool of the natural law divine realm, I am still loyal and righteous. Big Brother Sky Dragon has done me a favor." Qin Yun held his hands behind his back and said, "When you go to the Divine Desolate in the future and reach the peak of the Divine Desolate, you will know how terrifying the Ancient Desolate is." "I'm not afraid," the Divine Universe Ice Dragon said. Qin Yun said with a smile, "Then let's work hard to become stronger first." The Divine Cosmic Ice Dragon had once been powerful, and now that he had the Yang Seed, he was confident that he could become powerful again. In 3 days, there might be 10 Heavenly Mothers attacking the Ice Royal tribe. The Divine Universe Ice Dragon sighed. "The Ice Clan is a race that you saved back then and followed me into the Sun's sacred land. I have a certain relationship with them, and I definitely cannot let them be killed by the natural law divine realm." Qin Yun said, "It seems like those Heavenly Mothers are certain that you know the whereabouts of the Sun Seed." The Divine Universe Ice Dragon coldly snorted. "Natural law divine realm, this group of idiots, they still don't know when death is at hand. The land of extreme, under the Mother Moon can give birth to powerful demigod-level Umbra beasts and demigod-level humans. Is there anyone else in the Sun Sacred Land other than the Ice Race?" asked Qin Yun. "Yes, I don't know who those people are." In short, after the land of extreme appeared, those people and beasts appeared one after another. Moreover, a natural barrier has appeared in the land of extreme so I can't see clearly, the Divine Universe Ice Dragon said. Qin Yun is somewhat worried about Xian Rujing, but thinking that Xian Rujing has received the call of the Mother Moon, as long as she gets close to the extreme land, she will be protected by the Mother Moon. He felt a lot relieved. I can sense that those demigod-level lunar beasts and powerhouses are looking for something, the divine universe ice dragon said. The Heavenly Mother is powerful, but they're not demigods. Qin nodded and said, "Don't worry, my inscription gate is also here." Moreover, the immortal desolate dragon emperor from Immortal Desolate has the 9-dragon heavenly origin formation. He can cooperate with you to set up a great formation. I know there are some formidable inscription dragons outside. In a few days, Sacred Tiger King from Sacred Desolate will bring his subordinates and rush over. I will go meet those dragons. The Divine Universe Ice Dragon said. All right, I have an urgent matter. I will go out for a while. I will be back in 3 days. Qin said. Palace King, you must be very careful. The Divine Universe Ice Dragon warned Qin because Qin's current cultivation is very low. Qin left the Ice Royal tribe. He flew in the sky and looked at the Mother Moon in the distance. The Mother Moon is very far away from him, so it looks like a small pearl, but now is flickering with very strong light. The Sun Holy Land actually has primal chaos divine sun and that mysterious old man. All of a sudden it became even more mysterious and unfathomable. Xiaoyun, who is that old man divine universe ice dragon is talking about? You never told me what happened to Ancient Desolate. Ling Yuner asked. I don't know who that old man is, but I feel that he will appear soon. The primal chaos divine sun he created will definitely be sensed by the heavenly law divine realm, and he will come to take it away. Qin flew in the air. He wanted to find the imperial sound heavenly mother. In 3 days, the other heavenly mothers would besiege the Ice Royal tribe. He wanted to inform the imperial sound heavenly mother and tell her not to interfere. Furthermore, he wanted the imperial sound heavenly mother to understand the movements of the heavenly law divine realm. The love god over at the heavenly law divine realm had lost an altar, so there would definitely be an even bigger movement. Furthermore, a demigod-level expert had appeared in the land of Extremine. This was no small matter. Ling Yuner asked, Xiaoyun, tell me about the Ancient Desolate. Why is that place so mysterious? Let's put it this way. There was a sudden change in the Ancient Desolate. A large group of people suddenly became very powerful, and then a group of even more powerful people came from nowhere. Qin said, back then, my strength was also first-rate, but in the eyes of those people who suddenly became stronger, I was only third-rate. Then you should go into seclusion and break through. Ling Yuner said, I can't break through. At that time, I had already reached the peak of the cultivation path. I have already reached the limit and can no longer cultivate to become stronger. Qin said, that's why I want to create the primal chaos divine sun to obtain powerful strength and return to the ancient desolate land. Ling Yuner was startled and said, what do you mean? You've already reached your limit? Yes, I've already reached my limit. I don't even know what the next realm is, nor do I know how to cultivate to become stronger. No matter how much I cultivate, I can't go any further. Qin said, not only me, many experts are facing this predicament. Ling Yuner said in shock, Then what realm are the powerful fellows who suddenly came to the Ancient Desolate? I don't know what realm they are at, but those fellows who suddenly appeared in the Ancient Desolate land should know. However, they're all very strong. It can be said that they are incomparably powerful. Qin said, any child of theirs can sweep away many powerful existences like me. Speaking of this matter, Qin still sighed in shock. Shen Yu Tianlong. Then wouldn't it be very miserable for him to go to the ancient desolate land? Ling Yuner said in shock. Yes, originally, the ancient desolate land was only a gathering place for peak divine realm experts. An existence at the level of Shen Yu Tianlong would have been able to dominate a region in the ancient desolate land, but I reckon that he would only become a pet beast now. Qin shook his head and smiled bitterly. Qin personally witnessed the arrival of incomparably powerful humans and beasts in the ancient desolate land. It gave him a great impact. When he became the king of the Nanyang Palace, he was also extremely powerful. He cultivated bitterly for countless years, but in the ancient desolate land, he was unable to defeat a child who had mysteriously descended. To him, this was like a nightmare. He clearly remembered that he, the famous king of the Nine-Yang Palace, was severely injured by a 10-year-old child in just a few moves. This memory was something he really wanted to erase. This kind of matter had already completely exceeded his understanding at that time. It could be said that his worldview had completely collapsed. What made him feel at ease was that such a powerful existence could not descend into the divine desolate land. That was why he had always been in the divine desolate land and never went to the ancient desolate land. When Ling Yuner heard Qin Yun talk about these matters, she found it inconceivable. So you began to have the determination to create the primal chaos, divine sun. Ling Yuner said, "Yes, I don't know how to break through that limit. I can only place my hopes on the legendary primal chaos, divine sun." Qin Yun said, "But before I even succeeded, I began to fight with the heavenly, law divine realm." Back then, the king of the Nine-Yang Palace, who had shaken the divine desolate land, was severely injured by a 10-year-old child. Even when Qin Yun mentioned this matter, Ling Yuner found it hard to believe. If I had the primal chaos divine sun, I might be able to borrow its power to break through the peak of the past and enter a new realm. Qin Yun said, "Of course, a primal chaos divine sun is far from enough. After so many years, who knows what has happened to the ancient desolate land?" Ling Yuner said, "The last sun fell in the ancient desolate land, right? Will they die?" "Definitely not. Their group of powerful existences are not afraid of the sun falling at all." Qin Yun shook his head and said, "Unless a powerful primal chaos divine sun falls, they can be killed." Ling Yuner said again, "Even the heavenly law divine realm suffered a loss?" Qin Yun nodded and said, "In the heavenly law divine realm is also at a disadvantage. The power of the heavenly Tao is unable to intimidate that group of fellows." As he flew, he talked with Ling Yuner about the ancient desolate land. Time flew by quickly, and not long after, they approached the Imperial Sound Heavenly Palace. The Imperial Sound Heavenly Mother was on the Golden Eagle, and there were no heavenly beings around to protect her. The other heavenly beings were sent by the Imperial Sound Heavenly Mother to search for the Sun Seed. After Qin Yun became invisible, he quietly entered the Imperial Sound Heavenly Palace. When the Imperial Sound Heavenly Mother learned of Qin Yun's arrival, she immediately came to the magnificent hall from her room. "Palace King, the divine universe Ice Dragon has been reborn. All the heavenly mothers in the sun-sacred land have received orders from the heavenly law divine realm to join hands and attack the Ice King tribe," the Imperial Sound Heavenly Mother said. "Did they have any reaction when I took away the altar of the love god?" Qin Yun asked. "The heavenly law divine realm thinks that you are in the Ice King tribe and wants to capture you," the Imperial Sound Heavenly Mother said. "Palace King, you better stay away from the Ice King tribe for the next few days." Imperial Sound Heavenly Mother, "You must not fight," Qin Yun said. "No, if I disobey orders, I will be punished when I return to the heavenly law divine realm." The Imperial Sound Heavenly Mother shook her head. Qin Yun walked back and forth a few steps, thought for a moment, and said, "You can contact the heavenly law divine realm, right? Tell them that there are half-gods and half-god beasts appearing in the land of Supreme Een, and the Mother Moon above the land of Supreme Een is evolving into the primal chaos divine moon." "What? The Mother Moon is evolving into the primal chaos divine moon?" The Imperial Sound Heavenly Mother was shocked, and her face immediately turned pale. "Palace King, don't speak nonsense. I'm not spouting nonsense. Sooner or later, they will know about the evolution of the Mother Moon. If you tell them now, they will turn their attention to the land of Supreme Een." Qin Yun said, "As for the remaining Yang seeds, it is extremely likely that they will all gather in the land of Supreme Een." Chapter 2061. Upon seeing Heavenly Mother Blue Pearl arrive, Qin Yun immediately turned invisible and used his penetration divine power to enter a pillar. The Heavenly Mother of Imperial Sound opened the door and let the Heavenly Mother of Blue Pearl in. The Blue Pearl Heavenly Mother wore a dark blue robe. She was a very tall old woman. It could be seen that she was very tall when she was young, but she had suddenly aged recently. After entering, when Heavenly Mother Azure Pearl saw Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound's youthful and beautiful appearance, her old eyes were filled with jealousy. Heavenly Mother of Imperial Sound, I heard that you have been using golden light to conceal your appearance recently. I thought you had also started to grow old. Blue Pearl Heavenly Mother snorted coldly. I didn't expect you to still have such soft skin and tender flesh. It really makes people jealous. Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound revealed a charming smile and said, Heavenly Mother Blue Pearl, there's nothing to be envious of. I'm just a little girl after all. You were prettier than me when you were young. It sounded like her words were indeed meant to comfort the Heavenly Blue Pearl, but it only made the Heavenly Blue Pearl even angrier. The Blue Pearl Heavenly Mother thought back to how she used to be when she was young, but now she had become an old piece of cured meat. She felt like vomiting blood. Yuan, your complexion looks good. What's going on with you? Blue Pearl Heavenly Mother looked at Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound's beautiful face and suddenly became very curious. It was because the heavenly matriarchs in the sacred level space were all rather old and difficult to break through at this stage. Originally, Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound was about to turn old, but she met Qin Yun and obtained his help to absorb the Sun Seed's energy, allowing her to maintain her beautiful and moving appearance. I don't know either. Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound smiled even more charmingly and asked, Heavenly Mother Blue Pearl, don't you have something important to discuss with me? The Blue Pearl Heavenly Mother also saw the Imperial Sound Heavenly Mother's beautiful appearance and was so jealous that she almost forgot that she came here. I found a clue about the Chaos Divine Sun. The Blue Pearl Heavenly Mother lowered her voice and said, the higher-ups asked us to look for the Chaos Divine Sun, but they didn't tell us much about it. The Heavenly Mother frowned and said, the primal Chaos Divine Sun is very mysterious, and very few people have come into contact with it. It's not that the higher-ups don't want to tell us. It's just that they don't know anything about the Chaos Divine Sun. I have a clue about the primal Chaos Divine Sun, but I don't dare to touch it alone. Blue Pearl Heavenly Mother said, I will give you a clue. You go and investigate. If there are any other discoveries, we will join hands to take away the primal chaos Divine Sun. Why don't you look for other Heavenly Mothers? Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound sneered and said, you have the best relationship with Heavenly Mother White Wind, but you came looking for me. Heavenly Mother White Wind wants to take all the credit for herself, but I'm not worried that you will. Heavenly Mother Blue Pearl was also filled with anger when she talked about Heavenly Mother White Wind. Her old face darkened. Why? The Imperial Sound Heavenly Mother flirted with her hair. Her posture and expression were full of charm. Seeing this, Heavenly Mother Blue Pearl couldn't help snorting coldly and said, Yuan, I can still trust your character. In the saint-level space, you little girl are the most innocent and principled. For so many years, us older sisters have cooperated with you. This is something we all acknowledge. Qin Yun, who was hiding in the dark, could not help but laugh inwardly. Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound was born in the last epoch, but in the eyes of these Heavenly Mothers, she was just a little girl. Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound was hesitating because she was worried that there would be a great risk. Seeing that Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound was hesitating, Heavenly Mother Blue Pearl said in a low voice, Imperial Sound, how many sacred kings do you have under you? 10. Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound asked. Why are you asking this? Hee. Heavenly Mother Blue Pearl sneered a few times and said, very soon, not a single one will be left. Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound's face sank and said coldly, are you threatening me? You want to kill all the sacred kings under me? Heavenly Mother Blue Pearl chuckled and said, little girl, don't be angry. As far as I know, Tianhui is already dead, but you don't seem to know. Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound was startled and immediately closed her eyes to sense Tianhui. Don't try. Your heavenly embryo in the heavenly law divine realm is already gone. Heavenly Mother Blue Pearl said, the sacred kings under you have been taken over by Heavenly Mother Love. Why? Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound said angrily. Why should she take away my subordinates? There's no reason. The Heavenly Mother above wants people. It's that simple and crude. Heavenly Mother Blue Pearl said, of course, this also has a lot to do with you. Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound was so angry that her entire body was trembling. She never thought that Heavenly Mother Love would actually take over her subordinates just like that. She said angrily, what does this have to do with me? Because most of the sacred kings under you are dissatisfied with you. They have applied to change the Heavenly Mother. Blue Pearl Heavenly Mother laughed. Therefore, the higher-ups directly took away your heavenly embryo from the natural law divine realm, and through the heavenly embryo, they directly took back the two saint kings, Tian Hui and Tian Yin, a new, powerful sacred king. When Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound heard this, she was so angry that her face turned sinister and her eyes were bloodshot. This group of bastards, I treated them well, and they're actually dissatisfied with me? Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound was even more furious. Originally, when Heavenly Mother Love took away the heavenly embryo and took over the sacred kings under her, she was already very angry. Later on, she found out that this was the request of her sacred kings. You have to show more love to the sacred kings under you. True love. Heavenly Mother Blue Pearl said with a smile. Looks like you've been keeping yourself pure until now. You haven't done it with those sacred kings, right? Do what with them? The furious Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound was startled. Ha ha ha, a little girl is a little girl. Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound laughed. The sacred kings under you are all quite handsome. You actually haven't eaten them before? Although they are heavenly beings, they are still humans and have 7 emotions and 6 desires. They should have longed for you for a long time, but even Qin Yin was somewhat dumbfounded. The Heavenly Mother actually wanted to use this kind of method to rope in the sacred kings under her. You actually don't know about this. No wonder your sacred kings are so dissatisfied with you. It's because most of the other Heavenly Mothers have taken advantage of their own capable sacred kings. Heavenly Mother Blue Pearl laughed. Those 20 or so sacred kings under me often gather with me. Stop talking. The dumbfounded Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound suddenly shouted. Heavenly Mother Blue Pearl shook her head and said, now, I finally know why you have so few heavenly beings. Logically speaking, the more energy you have, the more powerful sacred kings you can create through the heavenly embryo. You need energy, you need to extract it from the sacred king. Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound coldly snorted. I want to find a man I love and have children with him. I'm not like you guys. Heavenly Mother Blue Pearl shook her head repeatedly. Qin Yun's horizons were broadened. The Heavenly Mother of the Heavenly Law Divine Realm really knew how to play. Yuan, you're all alone now. Even if you return to the Heavenly Law Divine Realm, you will not have a heavenly embryo. Heavenly Mother Blue Pearl said, therefore, you should still join hands with me. If we cooperate happily, you can come to my place, and I will bestow you the title of Sacred King. I won't do it. Who knows what kind of dirty things you will make me do? Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound gritted her teeth and said, don't worry about that. The sacred kings under me are all mine. Other women can forget about touching them. During this period of time, they're all very busy. Otherwise, I would have to squeeze them dry. This will allow me to regain the feeling of youth. Heavenly Mother Blue Pearl's wrinkled old face carried a sinister smile. Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound suddenly felt nauseous. She felt angry and disgusted at the same time. How about this? You help me poke that primal chaos divine Sunday. After it's done, I will give you some benefits. Heavenly Mother Blue Pearl said again. Go and stab it yourself. Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound coldly snorted. All right, when you have thought it through, come find me. After Heavenly Mother Blue Pearl finished speaking, she said again, 3 days later, are you going to besiege the Ice Royal tribe? Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound calmed down and said, I'm not going. Let me tell you a piece of news. The Mother Moon is currently evolving and will become a primal chaos divine moon. And I discovered that a demigod item has appeared near the land of extreme Een. She saw the doubt in the blue pearl Heavenly Mother's eyes and said, Go ahead and attack the Ice Royal tribe. When both sides are injured, the demigod will come in and take care of you. Think about it carefully and help me stab that primal divine Sunday. Remember to find me. Goodbye. Blue Pearl Heavenly Mother did not say anything else and hurriedly left the hall. After the Heavenly Mother closed the door, she stomped her feet angrily. After Qin Yin came out, he said, Primal Divine Sun must be very dangerous. Her subordinates must have stabbed it, but in the end, they all died. She just wants you to die. Of course I know that this old, which has evil intentions. She wants me to think that I'm in a bad situation. So she wants me to take risks out of desperation and regain my heavenly embryo. Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound said angrily. They actually took away your heavenly embryo. Qin Yin said with frown. The heavenly Tao has gone through nirvana. They can do whatever they want. Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound sighed and said, Palace King, I have nothing. Heavenly Mother Mo AI, this love god, is truly a slut. You promised Blue Pearl Heavenly Mother to look for primal divine sun. Qin Yin said, I'll go with you. It's very dangerous. Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound shook her head and said, She must have found other heavenly mothers and discussed with them before letting me test the power of primal divine sun. Qin Yin said with a smile, Now that I've caught up to Blue Pearl Heavenly Mother, it should be fine, right? She has an altar in her hand. And she came alone. Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound immediately pulled out the purple gold divine universe sword and said with a cold snort, Heavenly Law Divine Realm Bastards, I want you to know the price of oppressing me. Love God, you took away my heavenly embryo. I will make you pay the price. If they knew that I took away the altar, they would definitely think that the love God took away my heavenly embryo and angered me. Qin Yin nodded and said, This will more or less deal a blow to the love god. Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound was originally filled with anger. Now she angrily left her Imperial Sound Heavenly Palace. She put away the Imperial Sound Heavenly Palace and chased after Blue Pearl Heavenly Mother's aura. She wanted to snatch the altar from her hands. Chapter 2062. In terms of age, Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound was the youngest Heavenly Mother in the Saint class space. However, she had just been reborn and absorbed the energy of a young seed, giving her a vigorous life force. In comparison, the Blue Pearl Divine Mother could not. Her physical body had already begun to age, which would affect the circulation of the Saint energy in her body. Therefore, the Imperial Sound Heavenly Mother was very confident that she could suppress the Blue Pearl Heavenly Mother. Once the Azure Pearl Heavenly Mother was suppressed, she would definitely take out the Sun altar to protect her life. At that time, Qin Yin would be able to take away the altar. Sure enough, the Blue Pearl Heavenly Mother had come alone. Her Blue Pearl Palace hadn't come, so it was clear that she had left the Blue Pearl Palace somewhere and couldn't bring it over. She flew leisurely in the sky and thought to herself, Yuan, this little girl, serves her right to have her heavenly embryo taken away by Heavenly Matriarch Motionless. She is the youngest among the Heavenly Matriarchs in the Saint class space. Although her strength is not bad, Heavenly Matriarch Motionless doesn't dare to offend us Heavenly Matriarchs. When she thought of this, Heavenly Mother Blue Pearl secretly rejoiced. She felt that the Heavenly Mothers like her had some status in the eyes of the Divine Mother Goddesses. When Heavenly Mother Blue Pearl thought of how the youthful Heavenly Mother Demonic Sound had suddenly become so down and out, she couldn't help but laugh out loud. So what if I'm forever youthful? The Saint Kings under him are all gone, yet he kept his chastity to prevent those young men from enjoying himself. He deserves to be complained about. Suddenly, she sensed a very strong aura coming from behind. She turned around and saw the imperial sound Heavenly Mother in her purple gold heavenly armor flying over. Heavenly Mother Sapphire Pearl was first startled, then immediately smiled and said with a loud laugh, "Yuine, I knew that you would definitely agree. After all, you have no one to rely on now, and only I can give you a bright path. Old witch, how could you be so kind-hearted?" As soon as the heavenly sound mother's voice fell, the purple gold divine universe sword in her hand shone with holy light. It was the saint energy of a peak quintessential saint. That powerful aura of holy power shot out from the purple gold divine universe sword. Accompanied by the sound waves, the sword chi pierced forward. Even Qin Yun, who was hiding far away, was affected by the terrifying penetrative power. The sound wave of the saint energy was too powerful. It turned into a strong gale, howling incessantly. The imperial sound Heavenly Mother used her strongest move the moment she made her move. At the same time that Heavenly Matriarch Lanju was astonished, she was also filled with anger because she never expected that Heavenly Matriarch Imperial Sound would actually attack her. "Yuine, what's wrong with you, little slut? Are you crazy?" The blue pearl Heavenly Mother dodged the sword, but her body felt uncomfortable from the impact of the sword chi sound wave. Blue pearl Heavenly Mother. If you want to blame someone, blame Heavenly Mother, love Heavenly Mother, MOAI, for taking away my heavenly embryo. What I lost, you will also lose. Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound said angrily, "I want to let those divine matriarchs understand the consequences of suppressing me. Now, I can only seek justice for myself." The blue pearl Heavenly Mother could sense the Imperial Sound Heavenly Mother's anger and was shocked. She hurriedly summoned a purple gold divine universe sword and put on her heavenly armor. She didn't expect the Heavenly Mother to be so reckless. In the blink of an eye, the blue pearl Heavenly Mother had already received dozens of moves from the Imperial Sound Heavenly Mother. After exchanging blows with the Heavenly Mother of Imperial Sound, the Heavenly Mother Sapphire felt even more terrified. She could sense that she was inferior to the Heavenly Mother in all aspects. The Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound's exuberant life force and powerful body can allow the sacred power in her body to be unleashed to the extreme. The blue pearl Heavenly Mother is already old. Her lifespan is about to run out. Her weak life force and withered body can't support the powerful sacred power eruption in her body. Little Sister Imperial Sound, let's talk about it. I can understand the resentment in your heart when your heavenly embryo was taken away. Don't worry, Big Sister will definitely report this matter to the higher-ups and let the other divine matriarchs handle this matter. The blue pearl Heavenly Mother is very sure that she can't beat the Imperial Sound Heavenly Mother. Bullshit. The divine matriarchs have their own plans now. Moreover, they are being suppressed by the love goddess, love Heavenly Mother, MOAI. How can they speak for me? The Imperial Sound Heavenly Mother shouted angrily. Don't worry, I will definitely let the other divine matriarchs here understand that I, the Imperial Sound, am not easy to bully. The blue pearl Heavenly Mother continuously cursed in her heart. While cursing the Imperial Sound Heavenly Mother, she is also cursing the Heavenly Mother MOAI. The Heavenly Mother MOAI directly took away the Imperial Sound Heavenly Mother's heavenly embryo. And after taking away the heavenly embryo, she also took away a group of sage monarchs and celestials. This is simply digging up the Imperial Sound Heavenly Mother's roots. This method is indeed too excessive. But the Heavenly Mother MOAI is extremely powerful, and the Imperial Sound Heavenly Mother is seen as a divine matriarch that is about to die, so naturally no one will speak up for her. Little sister, big sister can understand your grievances. We can talk about it. I will discuss with the other divine matriarchs on how to stand up for you. This matter needs to be considered at length. The blue pearl Heavenly Mother withstood the Imperial Sound Heavenly Mother's frenzied attacks with great difficulty and said all sorts of nice words. Tui, you see that I have lost the upper hand, yet you still want to trick me into stabbing the dangerous primal divine son. I don't believe you. The imperial sound Heavenly Mother became angrier the more she spoke, the more ferocious and powerful her attacks become. The blue pearl Heavenly Mother finally can't hold on any longer, and she hurriedly released a huge sacrificial altar. After the sacrificial altar appeared, waves of pressure burst forth, and dazzling golden light shone in all directions. The sacrificial altar has power from the divine wilderness, and at this moment, divine power is surging out violently. The divine might is vast and mighty like the waves. The violent pressure is stirring up the wind and clouds. Protect me. The blue pearl Heavenly Mother shouted. The sun altar sent down divine power, condensing into a light barrier, protecting the blue pearl Heavenly Mother. The sun altar floating high in the sky is absorbing the power of the sun and is quickly condensing a powerful divine power. Imperial sound Heavenly Mother, you slut, go die. The blue pearl Heavenly Mother laughed sinisterly, controlling the sun altar to condense the berserk energy, preparing to attack. In the distance, Qin Yun shook the nine heavens dragon line cannon in his hand. The spatial cannonball pierced through space and appeared above the altar. Boom! A muffled sound rang out, causing the surrounding space to fluctuate violently. The sun altar is connected to the divine wilderness. It is controlled by the experts of the divine wilderness. Only then can it operate and absorb the power of the sun. And at this moment, the explosive power of the spatial cannonball disturbed the space, causing the altar to temporarily lose contact. The blue pearl Heavenly Mother's face is filled with shock. She recalled the news she heard before. Previously, Heavenly Mother MOAI's subordinates brought the altar down to personally search for the sun seed and primal divine Sunday. However, the sun altar was disturbed by a very strong spatial energy, and then it was snatched away. The person who took away the altar was actually the king of the Nine-Yang Palace, whose name shook the entire natural law divine realm. The Nine-Yang Palace king's current life name was Qin Yun. He had done many great things in the immortal, desolate, and buried heavenland. Especially in the buried heaven grounds, the heavenly law divine realm suffered heavy losses because of Qin Yun's appearance. The blue pearl Heavenly Mother widened her eyes in shock as she looked at the furious Heavenly Mother. She suddenly realized that the Heavenly Mother of Imperial Sound had joined forces with Qin Yun. Just as the blue pearl Heavenly Mother was stunned, the altar suddenly disappeared. The altar has been taken away by Qin Yun. Up to now, Qin Yun had already obtained 3 sun altars modified by the heavenly law divine domain. The Heavenly Mother of Imperial Sound suddenly screamed. Her body was pierced by the sword Qi, formed by the sound wave. Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound sneered and said, Heavenly Mother Blue Pearl, I, Imperial Sound, am not easy to bully. Even if the heavenly law divine realm does not keep me, I can still make a name for myself. Yuan, you joined hands with the enemy of the heavenly Tao. You are betraying the heavenly Tao. You will suffer the punishment of the heavenly Tao. Heavenly Mother Blue Pearl spat out blood and shouted angrily. How can there be any heavenly Tao now? The heavenly law divine realm, under the heavenly Tao, has already been divided by a group of ambitious heavenly emperors and heavenly mothers. We, little heavenly mothers of saint-level space, will only be slaughtered by them. The Heavenly Mother of Imperial Sound flew over and slashed at the Blue Pearl Heavenly Mother. Just you wait. The Blue Pearl Heavenly Mother's head suddenly exploded and turned into smoke. She wants to return her soul to the heavenly law divine realm. Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound immediately shouted, Palace King, quickly stop her! Qin Yun raised his hand and threw out a small blue cauldron with fairy wings. It is the Spirit Creation Heavenly Cauldron. After the Spirit Creation Heavenly Cauldron went over, it immediately devoured the soul of the Blue Pearl Heavenly Mother. This kind of powerful soul is a great tonic for the Spirit Creation Heavenly Cauldron. Qin Yun retrieved the Spirit Creation Heavenly Cauldron and then charged towards the Blue Pearl Heavenly Mother's body. He said, There's a very strong energy inside. I can't waste it. What are you doing? Heavenly Mother Imperial, Sound said in shock. Qin Yun's hand pressed on the back of the blue pearl Heavenly Mother. He frowned slightly and controlled the Nether Sun to begin devouring. After all, it is a Heavenly Mother. The energy within her body is very powerful. Even if it is not devoured, this Heavenly Mother's energy will return to the heavens. Qin Yun's Nether Sun now has a very strong devouring and melting power. The devouring energy must be strong enough to drive the Nether Sun to devour, melt, and refine it. Otherwise, it will just be a small matter and won't have any effect. For example, the energy inside the Heavenly Mother's body can make the Nether Sun become active and devour and absorb energy. Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound is dumbstruck looking. It is not that she has never seen a method to devour other people's energy, but Qin Yun's devouring speed is very dreadful. The Blue Pearl Heavenly Mother is, after all, a Heavenly Mother. She has formidable heavenly Tao power and sacred power inside her body. That sacred power is transforming into divine power. However, more than half of it was easily devoured by Qin Yun. The Blue Pearl Heavenly Mother's body is quickly withering. After the energy inside her skin, flesh and bones were completely devoured, her body suddenly turned into fragments. I need to go into seclusion. Qin Yun took out the heaven-leaping shuttle. He can now sense that the Nether Sun is restless. Nether Sun rarely has this kind of activity. It is clearly a sign of breakthrough. Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound promptly took out her Imperial Sound Heavenly Palace. Qin Yun controlled the heaven-leaping shuttle and entered the Imperial Sound Heavenly Palace. Seeing the Blue Pearl Heavenly Mother die, the anger in her heart dissipated a bit. Qin Yun said to Ling Yun inside the heaven-leaping shuttle, "Yun, how are you now?" Just now, not only Qin Yun's Nether Sun devoured, Ling Yun's Nether Sun also devoured. The devouring power of the twin Nether Suns is extremely dreadful. In a short while, it completely sucked out all kinds of formidable energy inside the Blue Pearl Heavenly Mother's body. This is also the reason why Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound is afraid. Because Qin Yun's cultivation is limited, no matter how strong he is, he should not be able to contain the vigorous energy inside the Blue Pearl Heavenly Mother's body. What she doesn't know is that although the Nether Sun is small, it has very strong devouring power. It can contain and compress energy and store it. Just as Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound is secretly amazed by Qin Yun's devouring power, she sensed that a mirror in her storage magic tool is trembling. She promptly took out the mirror. Chapter 2063. Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound is so angry that she wants to smash the mirror. Heavenly Mother Void, Love, took away her heavenly embryo, yet she still has the face to look for her and even use that kind of tone to order her to do things. This makes her feel that Heavenly Mother Void, Love, doesn't care about taking away the heavenly embryo at all. Heavenly embryo? I indeed took away a heavenly embryo before. I am in urgent need of manpower. Heavenly Mother Void Love said coldly. Moreover, why would I need to explain to you if I want the heavenly embryo? You are just a sacred king, Heavenly Mother. What qualifications do you have to question me? You old and ugly slut. You must be jealous of my youth and beauty. Heavenly Mother Void Love, why are you pretending to be a divine monarch? Are you worthy? Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound said with sneer. You little sacred king, Heavenly Mother, actually dare to be rude to me. A divine Heavenly Mother. Just you wait. Heavenly Mother Void, Love, shouted in anger. The one who will be waiting is you, old slut. Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound cursed. Rebel against you. Heavenly Tao is not here. We divine Heavenly Mothers are Heavenly Tao. I urgently need sacred kings to work for me in sacred desolate sun's sacred land. So why can't I take away your heavenly embryo? Moreover, you did not favor sacred kings. So many of them requested to replace your heavenly mother. You brought this upon yourself. Heavenly Mother Void, love, coldly said. You insulted me. I won't let you off. Slut, slut, slut. Heavenly Mother Imperial sound repeatedly cursed at the middle-aged woman in the mirror. Heavenly Mother Void Love is also extremely angry. She already threw away the mirror. Heavenly Mother Void Love took a few deep breaths, looked at the heaven-leaping shuttle, and muttered, Palace King, Palace King. Why were you so muddle-headed back then? You were actually tricked by this slut. You must quickly become stronger and get rid of this slut as soon as possible. She is truly infuriating. Who does she think she is? She took away my heavenly embryo for no reason. Since she does not regard me as a heavenly mother, why should I respect her? She knows that in the following period of time, other heavenly mothers will definitely come looking for her. But she is not afraid because the moment those altars are released, they will be taken away by Qin Yin. Now, only the two heavenly mothers had the sun altar in their hands. Qin Yin let Zi Qingsheng and the others come out to cultivate and quickly refine the devoured energy. Blue Pearl Heavenly Mother's energy is very strong, and it has many types. If Qin Yin wanted to refine it alone, he would need a lot of time. Now, with Zi Qingsheng, Shui Tianzi, and Long Tianji joining them, cultivating the Sun and Moonheart Sutra together would be much faster. Not only was the refining speed fast, but it could also completely refine the energy that had been devoured. After a few people took turns to refine it, the remaining consciousness of the Blue Pearl Heavenly Mother would be completely obliterated. Also, cultivating with many people could increase the energy by a lot, and many people would benefit from it. Qin Yin never expected that devouring a Heavenly Mother would result in such a huge harvest. Although she was a dying Heavenly Mother, the power of the Heavenly Tao was incomparably vigorous. Otherwise, it would take him a lot of time to absorb the heavenly energy through those heaven veins. Xiao Yun, after this cultivation, your cultivation will definitely increase greatly. Ling Yun said with a smile, maybe after leaving the Sun's sacred land, you'll be able to go to the divine desolate, divine wilderness. It was a place Qin Yin was most familiar with back then. Of course, many years had passed, and it was definitely no longer the divine wilderness he was familiar with. Moreover, the world is about to be exterminated. The divine desolate will definitely have a great change. The sun in the sky is gradually approaching sacred desolate and immortal desolate. Once it falls, sacred desolate and immortal desolate will turn into a sea of fire. Qin Yin also doesn't know whether or not sacred desolate was destroyed after leaving the sun's sacred land. Imperial Sound Heavenly Mother is walking back and forth outside the heaven-leaping shuttle. Sometimes she is sitting on the ground. Sometimes she is walking around the heaven-leaping shuttle. She is waiting for Qin Yin to come out, because the other 8 heavenly mothers of the Sun's sacred land are about to join hands to besiege the Ice Royal Tribe. The Ice Royal Tribe is guarded by the divine space Ice Dragon. Although it looks very strong, it has just been reborn, and its strength is very limited. The main purpose of the 8 heavenly mothers attacking is to capture the divine space Ice Dragon and force it to reveal the whereabouts of the Sun's seed. Everyone thinks that the divine space Ice Dragon knows the whereabouts of the Sun's seed, but only the Ice Dragon and Qin Yin know that the Sun's seed's current state is very strange. It can choose its own location. There is only 1 day left. Why hasn't he come out yet? Imperial Sound Heavenly Mother is even more anxious. In these 2 days, she controlled the Imperial Sound Heavenly Palace to fly far away and hide in a very remote place. She wants to let Qin Yin cultivate in peace. Could it be that this guy doesn't care about the Ice Royal Tribe's matter? Imperial Sound Heavenly Mother wants to go to the Ice Royal Tribe to take a look. Then she will find an opportunity to stab those heavenly mothers in the back. In these 2 days, MOAI Heavenly Mother contacted her, but she ignored her. Because MOAI Heavenly Mother's tone has become very good, it is very clear that she wants to lure her to do something or determine her location, so that she can send people to kill her. Imperial Sound Heavenly Mother is not stupid. She hates Moai, Heavenly Mother, very much. She also knows that Moai, Heavenly Mother, once swindled Qin Yun. She is a very powerful woman. Therefore, she is very cautious. Qin Yun directly devoured the blue pearl Heavenly Mother's energy. It is ready-made saint power and heavenly Tao power. The heavenly Tao power was absorbed by the mysterious heavenly Tao divine rune, and the saint power was refined and used to strengthen the nether sun and Qin Yun's body. Because it was originally a very strong holy power, the refining process was very smooth. After Qin Yun woke up, he discovered that his body is overflowing with a total of 7 layers of saint power. 7 layers of saint power. I am now quintessential saint realm. Qin Yun is startled and said with smile, devouring a heavenly mother is actually so beneficial. Originally, he was only at the early stage great saint realm. His body only had 4 layers of saint power. But after devouring and refining the blue pearl Heavenly Mother's energy, it increased by 3 layers and directly jumped from initial stage Great Saint Realm to initial stage Quintessential Saint Realm. If I devour another Heavenly Mother, I might even reach mid-stage Quintessential Saint Realm, or even late stage. Qin Yun pondered in his heart, then looked at Zi Qingsheng, gently rubbed her face, and said with smile, Sister Steam Bun, you guys are a bit faster than me. You are already mid-stage Quintessential Saint Realm. But we are not as strong as husband Xiao Yun. Shui Tianzi hugged Qin Yun, kissed his handsome face, and said with smile, you guys make some formation flags, then let little Queen Ant help refine spatial cannonballs. Prepare for war, Qin Yun said. Zi Qingsheng and others returned to the Nine-Sun Divine Soul and hastily went to make things Qin Yun needs. Qin Yun walked out of the heaven-leaping shuttle. Seeing Qin Yun come out, Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound cried out in alarm and shouted, Palace King, you seem to have become a little stronger. I'm now at the early stage of Quintessential Saint Realm. Qin Yun said with a smile, Blue Pearl Heavenly Mother is truly a tonic. This old which was already about to die. If she wasn't devoured by you, she would have returned to the heavens. After returning to the heavens, wouldn't her energy be absorbed by that group of Divine Mother? Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound said, all right, I remember that this Blue Pearl Heavenly Mother said that her Heavenly Mother would squeeze the Saint Kings under her. Qin Yun said, is this kind of thing very common among Heavenly Mother? Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound snorted, I've heard of it long ago, but this kind of thing is usually kept a secret. I originally thought that those Heavenly Mothers would at most only have 2 or 3 of the most outstanding ones. I never expected it to be like this. What kind of existence is the Heavenly Emperor of the Heavenly Law Divine Realm? Qin Yun said, the Heavenly Emperor is nurtured by the Heavenly Mother. He is also the most outstanding subordinate of the Heavenly Mother. Moreover, he has the closest relationship with the Heavenly Mother. Heavenly Mother said, generally, only the Divine Mother can nurture a powerful Heavenly Emperor. Qin Yun said with a smile, Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound, you are truly unconventional among the Heavenly Mothers. Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound said with sneer, it's not that I'm unconventional, it's just that I have my own goals. The Ice Royal race is about to be besieged. Now that you have broken through, you should quickly go and help. There's still about half a day left. Qin Yun calculated the time and said, let's go now. I'll be there in half a day. Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound nodded and said, her Imperial Sound Heavenly Palace is too eye-catching. So she entered Qin Yun's heaven-leaping shuttle. Qin Yun found out that Heavenly Mother Moai contacted Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound while inside the heaven-leaping shuttle. That Heavenly Mother Moai is a middle-aged woman, and she even looks old. I didn't expect that after the Heavenly Tao Nirvana, even the Divine Mother would be affected. Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound laughed proudly and said, she must have been provoked by my young appearance. Heavenly Mother Moai's clone shouldn't be affected by the Heavenly Tao, right? Qin Yun said with frown, why is she aging along with me? but she absorbs heavenly Tao power all year round. After the heavenly Tao nirvana, the heavenly Tao divine domain's heavenly Tao power became thinner and thinner, adding that they have to mobilize energy to create heavenly guards. Their consumption is getting bigger and bigger, and they're unable to maintain their young and strong body. Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound said. Qinyan thought about it carefully and nodded. He has also reincarnated many times. That's why he has a body that is young and full of vitality. If he had survived from the Nine Sun era until now, it would be more or less the same. Qinyan said, "This time, I want to capture another Heavenly Mother. I want to quickly break through and enter the Divine Desolate." Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound said in low voice, "Palace King, I still need to absorb the Sun Seed's energy one more time before I can break through." "That's no problem. You helped me get 2 altars. Our cooperation can be considered very pleasant," Qinyan said with smile. "I signed a soul contract, so I can't give you the altar in my hand unless you have a way to remove my soul contract," Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound said. Qinyan suddenly thought of Spirit Creation Heavenly Cauldron. Spirit Creation Heavenly Cauldron can refine souls. Maybe it can refine the soul contract. The reason why Qinyan wants to gather all 9 altars is mainly because he wants to use the 9 Sun altars and 9 Divine Universe Dragon Pearls to set up a super strong 9 Dragon Heavenly Origin formation. In the current situation, the Star God altar is not very useful. He can go to the Guanghan Palace to take back the Star God altar. Then he can go to the 9 Nether Realms Floating Cloud City and take the altar there. Then he can more or less gather all the altars. Chapter 2064. Qinyan took out a small blue cauldron. During this period of time, the Spirit Creation Heavenly Cauldron had been playing with MOMO and the other little things inside the 9 Yang Divine Spirit. MOMO and Little Jade Rabbit would often be inside the Spirit Creation Heavenly Cauldron and then fly around. When the Heavenly Mother saw the small blue cauldron, she was only surprised, because the small cauldron had a pair of fairy wings, causing its entire shape to look very strange. What's going on with this cauldron? It has a pair of wings. Could it be that it's turning into a fairy? The Heavenly Mother did not know that this was the Spirit Creation Heavenly Cauldron. One must know that even in the Heavenly Law Divine Realm, the Spirit Creation Heavenly Cauldron was a famous item. I can't guarantee that I can remove the contract. I need you to cooperate with me to be sure. Qinyan opened the lid of the small cauldron and smiled at the Heavenly Mother. There's no danger. The Heavenly Mother frowned as she looked at the Spirit Creation Heavenly Cauldron and asked doubtfully, "Just use this cauldron? How do I operate it? How do I cooperate with you?" If it was anyone else who said that they could remove the contract, the Heavenly Mother would definitely not believe it. After all, it was a soul contract signed with the upper echelons of the Heavenly Law Divine Realm. However, the Qinyan in front of her was the 9 Yang Palace King, so she believed that there was a certain chance of success. Qinyan said, "This requires you to release your soul. Take out your 9 souls and 9 spirits, and put them into this small cauldron." The Heavenly Mother's expression changed slightly. She looked at Qinyan and said, "Palace King, isn't this kind of cooperation too risky? That's my 9 souls and 9 spirits." Qinyan said with a smile, "I know. Then forget it." It was indeed very difficult to hand over one's 9 souls and 9 spirits to others. Just as Qinyan was about to put away the Spirit Creation Heavenly Cauldron, the Heavenly Mother immediately said, "Wait, what's wrong?" Qinyan asked, "Are you really not going to destroy my 9 souls and 9 spirits?" The Heavenly Mother is still rather worried. "I really won't destroy it. I'm just trying." Qinyan said, "Of course, I might not succeed." Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound also wished to remove the soul contract. That way, she could give the Sun altar to Qinyan. The Sun altar already belonged to the Natural Law Divine Realm. If the Natural Law Divine Realm lost all of its altars, it would be a great thing for the Heavenly Mother. "All right, I'll give it a try." Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound made her decision. Qin took out the Heaven Leaping Shuttle and said, "Enter the Heaven Leaping Shuttle. We will do it inside. It will be safer this way." In the 8th chamber of the Heaven Leaping Shuttle, the Heavenly Mother of Imperial Sound sat cross-legged on the soft cushion and closed her eyes, controlling her 9 souls and 9 spirits to leave her body. One had to know that once the 9 souls and 9 spirits left the body, they would be extremely weak when facing experts. It could even be said that they would not be able to withstand a single blow. Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound's action means that she trusts Qin very much. If not, Qin could easily slaughter her. Qin took a deep breath and released a weak mental power to guide the Heavenly Mother's 9 souls and 9 spirits into the soul creation heavenly cauldron. Qin is somewhat excited in his heart because this will allow him to study the soul creation heavenly cauldron's abilities. This is a rare opportunity. These days, he could gradually control the soul creation heaven cauldron. At this moment, he opened his heaven's eye and combined it with the soul creation heaven cauldron. He could see the situation of the soul inside the cauldron. Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound. I remember that there was a person called Old Ping inside the altar. This person can carve star transformation runes. Qin communicated with Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound's soul. This person came from a 9-son sex and took orders from the divine Heavenly Mothers. Because I needed the altar, I made them leave the altar. Now the altar is in my hands. Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound said, "Palace King, what should I do next?" Qin said, "Try to recall the part of the soul contract you signed. I want to find the soul power of the contract." Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound did, as Qin said. Qin completely released his mental power. Formidable nether moon mental power flooded the soul creation heavenly cauldron. Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound's soul can sense that Qin's formidable mental power is wrapping around her soul. It even wants to permeate into her soul. Very soon, Qin discovered that there is a very weak contract soul power inside the Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound's 9 spirits and 9 spirits. It is a very thin thread. I found it. I just need to destroy it. If I signed a soul contract with a weaker person, it would be very easy. Qin said, "I signed a soul contract with the divine Heavenly Mother. Her contract's soul power must be very strong." Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound said. Qin said with a smile, "It is very strong, but I have a way." Next, he will use the soul creation heavenly cauldron. He took a light breath, placed both of his hands on the soul creation heavenly cauldron, and fused his soul into the core of the soul creation heavenly cauldron. Then he released his devouring power, and through the soul creation heavenly cauldron, he extracted that tiny thread of contract soul power. The soul creation heavenly cauldron has a special energy that can make the soul very stable. Any soul that enters the soul creation heavenly cauldron will feel like they are in a warm and comfortable environment. They will have a very comfortable feeling. Therefore, inside the soul creation heavenly cauldron, many dangerous things can be done to the soul without harming the soul. For example, if there is no soul creation heavenly cauldron to directly extract the contract soul power, then when the contract soul power leaves the soul, it will tear the soul and cause endless pain to the soul. If it is serious, it will even cause the soul to fly away and scatter. Of course, the Imperial Sound Heavenly Mother Soul is also being torn apart. However, after being torn apart, it will be immediately repaired by the Soul Creation Heavenly Cauldron special power. The Imperial Sound Heavenly Mother cannot feel the pain of her soul at all. Inside the Soul Creation Heavenly Cauldron, the soul does not feel any pain. During the process, Qin is ecstatic because this soul creation heavenly cauldron is simply a soul refining divine tool. Refining the soul inside the soul creation heavenly cauldron can be said that there's no need to worry about the soul shattering and can carry out all kinds of high-risk experiments. He feels that in the future, It is necessary to use the soul creation heavenly cauldron more often to do some crazy things. Not long after, he took away the contract soul power. He opened the cauldron lid and guided the imperial sound heavenly mother's 9 souls and 9 spirits out and into her body. The imperial sound heavenly mother opened her eyes. Her beautiful eyes are filled with astonishment, and said, "I can't feel the restriction of the contract soul power. How did you do it?" Although she completely handed over her soul to Qin Yun, she cannot feel the specific process. Qin Yun smiled mysteriously and said, "Can you give me the altar now?" The imperial sound heavenly mother took out a square box and passed it to Qin Yun. "That altar is inside." Qin Yun took the box and checked the space inside. Indeed, he saw a sun altar. He put away the sun altar and asked, "The main reason you borrowed this altar to come here is to help them find the primal chaos divine Sunday. This is not an easy task." This matter could not be said by the imperial sound heavenly mother before, but Qin Yun had already guessed it. Yes, the blue pearl heavenly mother and the others definitely know where the primal chaos divine sun is, but this guy's already been killed. The imperial sound heavenly mother nodded. Qin Yun chuckled. Her soul originally wanted to leave, but it was taken away by me. I might be able to check her memories. There's no rush right now. Let's go to the Ice Royal race first. The imperial sound heavenly mother was not bound by the soul contract, so she could deal with those heavenly mothers freely. In order to let the heavenly law divine realm know the hatred in her heart, she had to deal with those heavenly mothers. Only in this way would the heavenly mother of heavenly love in the heavenly law divine realm regret taking away her heavenly embryo. Qin Yun obtained another altar. Moreover, the process was very easy. Palace King, do the other heavenly mothers know that I killed the blue pearl heavenly mother? The imperial sound heavenly mother asked. They probably don't know. However, they definitely know that you insulted the god of love. Qin Yun said with a smile, "Your heavenly embryo was taken away. It's normal for you to insult the god of love. They should be able to understand. Tian Yin and Tian Hui are both very loyal to me. It's a pity that they have been taken back to the heavenly embryo to be reforged. Now, in the sun's sacred land, the 8 saint kings who were once my subordinates will definitely listen to the god of love." Speaking of this matter, the imperial sound heavenly mother gritted her teeth. The heaven-leaping shuttle flew quickly towards the Ice Royal tribe. Qin Yun was not too worried because the defense of the Ice Royal tribe was not weak. With the divine inscription mountain there, the divine universe ice dragon, great sage Wu and the ice race king, as well as the 9 dragons' heavenly origin formation in the hands of the immortal desolate dragon emperor, they could condense a rather powerful offensive and defensive power. Those heavenly mothers still have 2 more altars in their hands. Qin Yun was also lacking these 2 altars. He wants to gather all the altars before going to the divine desolate and use them to construct the 9 dragons' heavenly origin formation. His current 9 dragons' heavenly origin formation is formed by 9 dragon rune heavenly sabers. He used it to defend against attacks before and it was almost destroyed. When facing formidable power, the dragon rune heavenly saber's defensive power is still not enough. If it was merged into the 9 powerful altars, it would have enough defensive power. White Wind Heavenly Mother and Purple Ice Heavenly Mother each have an altar. Don't worry, I no longer have any misgivings. I will do my best to help you obtain their altars. Imperial Sound Heavenly Mother said. Qin Yun is in the control room. Looking at the distant Mother Moon, he muttered, "The situation over at the Mother Moon must be very bad. What are those half-gods doing? I don't know. In short, I don't want to face half-gods. My current strength is not enough to deal with them." The Imperial Sound Heavenly Mother shook her head and said, "The Ice Royal tribe is located in a large mountain. Within the large mountain, giant trees are rising from the ground. There are many tree holes on the thick and solid tree trunks. Many ice race people are standing in the tree holes, looking outside with grave expression. This forest of giant trees was surrounded by a faint, icy aura. Under the illumination of the sun, the icy aura became stronger and stronger. And in the sky, a mighty aura suddenly overflowed to the heavens. A mighty energy wave rushed over. 8 heavenly mothers are leading their 100,000 celestial army, majestically rushing over. Chapter 2065. The moment the divine universe ice dragon released its aura, all the celestials in the sky were shocked. They thought that ice dragon would become very weak after abandoning the body bestowed by the heavenly Tao. But now, the divine universe ice dragon's aura was extremely powerful. If the divine universe ice dragon could grow to its former cultivation level, it would definitely become an expert in the divine wilderness. The Ice Royal tribe had made ample preparations. They had strengthened the barrier around the Ice Royal tribe, and they had also gathered all the other villages of the Ice Royal tribe. Shinyu Ice Dragon and the others stood at the top of a tall mountain, their auras no weaker than the hundreds of thousands of Devis. The Hall King might have other matters to attend to, so he won't be able to make it. The Divine Universe Ice Dragon did not wait for Qin Yun's arrival. He also knew that Qin Yun, the Nanyang Hall King, was most likely searching for the Chaos Divine Sunday. These heavenly mothers are not all here. There should be 10 of them, right? Ice Race King said, "It doesn't matter if Palace King is not here. We can stop them." Great Sage Wu frowned and said, "The heavenly mothers are not all here. Could there be 2 heavenly mothers lying in ambush?" Of the 2 heavenly mothers that didn't come, one was the Blue Pearl Heavenly Mother, which had been killed. The other is the Imperial Sound Heavenly Mother. She and Qin Yun are on the way. There were 8 huge palaces floating in the air. The palace was surrounded by giant dragons and flying beasts. The Heavenly Mother and the powerful holy kings under her command were inside the palace. A voice came from a white palace. "Divine Cosmic Ice Dragon, have you thought it through?" These 8 heavenly mothers were attacking the Divine Cosmic Ice Dragon from all sides. Their main goal was to capture the Divine Cosmic Ice Dragon and force it to reveal the location of the Yang Seed. Over the past few days, they had been searching for the Yang Seed from time to time, but the Yang Seed ran very fast. Even though there were many heaven beings, they were unable to catch up to it. They had been here for such a long time, but they had gained nothing. Moreover, they had to consume a large amount of resources every day. Only by finding the red quickly could they reduce their consumption. "I will never compromise with you," the Divine Universe Ice Dragon said coldly. Ice Dragon's momentum was very strong. The entire Ice Clan was ready for battle. The Ice King tribe was filled with a strong battle intent, which also caused the hearts of the people in the sky to tremble. If they fought, the Celestials would definitely suffer great losses. This would be a lose-lose situation. However, the heavenly mothers weren't afraid, because they could create new heavenly beings through heavenly fetuses after they died. If that's the case, then we can only fight. White Wind Heavenly Mother sneered, "You bastards, isn't it good to live well? You insist on courting death. Today, I'll let you all experience the terror of heaven's might." The Devis in the sky let out a deafening roar as they attacked the Ice Royal tribe's barrier. Countless balls of golden light, with dazzling light, struck the barrier. Boom, boom. The barrier was bombarded by countless balls of energy, like a huge firecracker exploding continuously. The entire Ice Royal tribe was covered in a golden mist. The golden, brutal energy flattened everything around the Ice Royal tribe. The Divine Universe Ice Dragon and the others were inside the barrier, and the intense golden light stung their eyes. However, they still widened their eyes and looked at the situation in the sky. Their faces were all very solemn, and they were also extremely shocked. With so many powerful Celestials attacking, the power was really terrifying to the extreme. What made them feel relieved was that the barrier could actually hold on, and it was very stable. This was mainly due to the Divine Inscription Mountain's Black Tortoise Great Formation and the 9 Dragons Heavenly Origin Formation. After these 2 great formations were combined, their defensive power was also extremely strong. After a round of crazy attack, the Celestials finally stopped. Hundreds of thousands of Celestials let out cries of alarm. They joined forces to attack, but they actually couldn't break the barrier. What made them most alarmed was that the barrier seemed to have a kind of devouring ability. It was absorbing their energy just now. This is the divine inscription mountain devouring. Inside the divine inscription mountain is the 9 dragons' heavenly origin formation, and now it is in the middle of the formation. Originally, the divine inscription mountain had a very strong devouring ability. Now, with the 9 dragons' heavenly origin formation, it can shoot the attacking energy into the formation. Xiao Hua said, "The formation is very stable. There is no sign of it being broken. It should be able to hold on for a period of time." Immortal Desolate Dragon Emperor frowned and said, "I'm just worried about those altars. I don't know how many altars they have." The altars in the hands of the Heavenly Mother can condense the power of the sun to attack. Moreover, there's also energy from the divine Desolate inside. Now, only those altars can threaten the Ice Royal Tribe's barrier. After the Celestials stopped attacking, the Heavenly Mothers began discussing. Imperial Sound and Blue Pearl are not here. They each have an altar. White Wind, Heavenly Mother, secretly transmitted her voice to other Heavenly Mothers and cursed in low voice. What are these two doing? They are not even coming over for such an important matter. Imperial Sound is insulting Heavenly Mother forgetting, plus her heavenly embryo was taken away. Maybe she is disheartened and won't come over. A Heavenly Mother said. Then Blue Pearl should be coming over. White Wind, Heavenly Mother said. Blue Pearl, Heavenly Mother's altar is already in Qin Yun's hands. Heavenly Mother Forgetting also knows about this matter, but she didn't say anything. Heavenly Mother Forgetting Love can already guess that because of her anger, Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound has begun to retaliate against other Heavenly Mothers. If they pursue the matter, she, Heavenly Mother Forgetting Love, will also be responsible. Because at this critical juncture, she very excessively wanted to take away Heavenly Mother Imperial Sound's heavenly embryo and take away other people's hand. I don't care. White Wind, Heavenly Mother cursed. Purple Ice, Heavenly Mother, let's release the altar and break that barrier. We need to quickly capture the Divine Universe Ice Dragon to prevent those demigods from the extreme inland from coming over. 2 enormous altars as large as mountains suddenly appeared in the sky. The altar, flickering with golden light, suddenly appeared and floated in the sky, crazily absorbing the sun's energy. Divine power surged out from inside the altar. A burst of golden radiance flickered and enveloped the Ice Royal Tribe below. The people inside the tribe all have solemn expression. Those 2 altars are giving them no small amount of pressure. The Divine Universe Ice Dragon said, "Let's begin. Don't let them break the barrier." As he spoke, he suddenly flew into the sky. A roar filled with dragon might shook the sky. The earth trembled and cold air rushed in all directions. White cold air filled the sky. After the second dragon roar, a huge dragon that looks like it is made of ice appeared in the sky. The ice dragon transformed into its original form. After transforming into its dragon form, the ice dragon crazily attacked the 2 altars. Soon after, Great Sage Wu and Ice Race King raised their weapons and rushed into the group of heavenly beings in the sky. The other Ice Race people used spears or all kinds of bows and arrows to attack the heavenly beings inside the tribe. A chaotic, great battle erupted. In the blink of an eye, a large group of heavenly armor guards and heavenly beings were frozen into ice balls. When the frozen heavenly beings and heavenly armor guards fell, they collided with the barrier and exploded, and then the barrier devoured their energy. Only the Divine Universe Ice Dragon, Great Sage Wu, and Ice Race King went out to fight. Great Sage Wu and Ice Race King shuttled through a group of powerful heavenly beings, quickly killing them. They did not directly confront the Holy Kings, because those Holy Kings were indeed very strong. If such a Holy King attacked, once they were surrounded, it would be very troublesome. Therefore, they used a wandering strategy, moving at high speed in the air and killing a large number of heavenly beings. The Ice Race people on the ground were also very powerful. They mastered the strange power of ice, which gave those heavenly beings a headache. Although their heavenly armors could resist, they could not resist for long before their energy was consumed. After the heavenly armors weakened, their defense became extremely poor, and if they continued to be attacked, they would be broken. When the Ice Race people attacked on the ground, it didn't matter even if they attacked the Ice Dragon's huge body. This was because the Divine Universe Ice Dragon was not afraid of that kind of attack at all. Instead, it could absorb that kind of energy. The Divine Universe Ice Dragon's huge body danced violently in the air. With a furious sweep of its huge dragon tail, it could sweep a large group of heavenly beings to the ground. When the dragon's claws stretched out, it could grab a palace and crush it. The strength of the Divine Universe Ice Dragon far exceeded the expectations of the Heavenly Mothers. At this moment, they were all panicking as they led the Holy Kings out. Divine Universe Ice Dragon, I really didn't expect that you would still be so powerful after abandoning the body bestowed by the Heavenly Tao. The White Wind Heavenly Mother sneered, but don't be complacent. Today, you will die completely. Return to the heavens. An old woman in a purple robe coldly shouted as she controlled the altar to gather energy. The altar was very strong. Even if it was attacked by the Divine Universe Ice Dragon, it could still store energy within the altar. After all, the Divine Universe Ice Dragon's strength was limited. The altar that had been modified by the Heavenly Law Divine Realm was very strong. He attacked it several times, but was unable to break through the altar, nor was he able to stop it from absorbing the power of the sun. Divine Universe Ice Dragon, if you don't give up resisting, you and the Ice Royal tribe below will be destroyed by the altar. The White Wind Heavenly Mother sneered. Although many heaven men and heavenly armor guards have been killed, these heavenly mothers were still very calm and did not feel any heartache. Because in their eyes, only those sacred kings were worth caring about. If the heaven died, they could just go back and use the heavenly embryo to create some more. The Divine Universe Ice Dragon used its long and large dragon body to wrap around the two altars and roared, "I won't let you succeed." He wanted to drag those two altars away. However, the altar was producing a very strong energy at this moment, bursting out with waves of intense golden divine light. This caused the Divine Universe Ice Dragon to scream in pain. Ha ha ha! After all, you were created by the Heavenly Tao. How could we not know your strength? The White Wind Heavenly Mother laughed loudly. Stop struggling, you can't beat us. The Purple Ice Heavenly Mother sneered. We are the Heavenly Tao. You want to go against the Heavenly Tao? You are truly foolish. Now you have seen how strong we are. Behind the 8 heavenly mothers stood a dozen or so powerful sacred kings. All of them were arrogant, and their eyes were filled with contempt as they coldly looked at the Divine Universe Ice Dragon. Suddenly, a white light flew over from afar, a burst of violent spatial fluctuations like ripples on water. Sensing the spatial fluctuation, the expressions of the 8 heavenly mothers and more than 100 sacred kings immediately changed. Such a powerful spatial fluctuation was enough to cut off the connection between the altar and the divine wasteland. They suddenly thought of something. You're tuning in to the Warrior Lore YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.